This is good. This is some good stuff.
Well, the audience will just have to miss out on the cures for the multiple diseases we just came up with.
Yeah.
It's like we cured space cancer. Yay.
Yeah. I recorded some more of my YouTube video today.
Awesome.
Nice.
So yeah.
We are actually recording now, by the way.
Okay.
But yeah, that's awesome. How much of it do you have left to go?
Just a couple of pages, like 4 pages of it left to record.
Nice.
It's coming along nicely.
Finally finished the final draft for Enola Part 4.
Oh, nice.
Oh, 5,500 words.
That's a lot of words.
And I've still got 3 parts to complete after 4.
You can do it.
It's just, it is my Everest. Like after Enola, I know I can do anything.
Yeah.
I can conquer the world. Oof. But yeah, hello everyone. How do you do?
Hi.
Yes, we are talking about a little film called Zack Snyder's Justice League today. You may have heard of it.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about the whole thing though. We're just going to talk about the first chapter.
Yeah, we're taking it slow.
It's a small independent film, you know?
Yeah, you know, micro budget.
No
barely anyone you know.
Yeah. No actors in it that we know.
Exactly.
No studios or big companies.
Up and coming actors like Henry Cavill are in it, you know.
Ben Affleck.
You know, a budding filmmaker in his own right. You know, Zack Schneider. You know, his third outing.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons in there, Kieran Hines.
Oh shit, yeah, J.K. Simmons is in that film.
Yeah.
I was expecting to have more, to be honest. But
Same, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. And the way it's gonna go is this week we're gonna be talking about chapter 1, next week chapter 2, or you know, maybe if we're done in like less than an hour, we might squeeze chapter 2 in there as well. And then next week, you know, we'll just move it up so that we've got more space in between.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The first 2 weeks, we're going to be talking one chapter. Then we're going to be gradually building up until the epilogue is covered in 5 weeks' time. Because, my god, this is a big film. And it's not a small amount that's wrong with it. There are a lot of issues with this film.
I have many things to say, and I'm only on chapter 3.
So
I have more to go.
One thing I'm really glad about is the fact that this is broken up into chapters.
Oh yeah,
same
definitely.
here.
It makes it easier to like get through.
Yeah, because this isn't exactly an hour and a half long, you know, comedy. This is a 4-hour chunker.
And I felt a lot of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. I felt it whiz right by. I barely felt it.
Yeah. I felt that with
I
the
had
first
that experience.
I felt that with the first chapter, but then the second chapter, I was like, okay, this is a long one.
Fair enough.
I could just feel myself being like, I want to do something else. So I was like, I'm gonna come back to you tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's a good thing we're covering this over 5 weeks, so you've got 5 weeks to finish it, as opposed to what we were doing until now, which is go.
Yeah.
For me, it was one of those where I watched it in one sitting.
So did I.
Was sitting there watching
it
and enjoying it for the most part. But at the same time, I was like, oh my god, there's still 3 hours left.
I will be honest, like, where I really felt it, where I was like, okay, you just need to end now, was in the epilogue. I was like, just fucking end.
Like, we'll get onto it, but I did not care for a particular scene.
Okay.
Well, you didn't like a particular scene? Is that what you said?
In the epilogue.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Like, there's a particular scene where I was like, take it out, I'd be even happy.
That's like the
Oh,
bit of,
okay.
that's like the truncated version of this film. It's like, did that really need to be there?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, we're probably never going to get another Zack Snyder Justice League film. I get it. You want to put everything out, but holy shit, you put literally everything out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, hey, the fans got what they wanted. They wanted the cut. Here you are. So you can't
Yeah.
fault the man for that.
Nope. Very true.
So, yeah, enjoyable experience of watching it. However, way too many issues.
Yeah. I mean, I was enjoying the story and stuff, but there were like, obviously we'll get onto it. There were things that were just taking me out of it and just making me just like it dampened it for me a little bit,
Cool.
just
There are
in places.
certain sorry.
No, go on.
I was finishing. I was just saying, just in places, and then I was done. So you go.
Okay, there are certain choices made in the film that I am not particularly fond of, and
Fair.
there are scenes where I'm like, did that really need to be in there?
That. Very that.
But and there are some choices where it's like, oh yeah, let's slow it down here, and I'm like, no.
I am not kidding, right? I made a slow motion tally chart, and I am not kidding. I am on 14, and I am on chapter 3.
It's one of those where I'm like, I get it with the Flash. I get it with the Flash.
The Flash ones, I have ones where I'm like justifiably slow motion, and I have ones where I'm like, why the fuck have we got Lois Lane ordering coffee in fucking slow motion? What the hell is going on?
The visual, the theme.
Of course.
I had no emotion.
I was like, get the fuck on with it. It's just a cappuccino, bro.
Exactly. I was just like, I like coffee too, but what the hell is going on?
Like, I imagine this film as it is probably like 3 hours and 15.
Yeah.
With
I
the
feel
slow mo.
like it's so long. It's so long because of all the fucking slowed down bits.
If this was like the same speed as Man of Steel, it would probably be like 3 hours 15 flat, and
Yeah.
that's without editing any of the needless scenes in there.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think what we've come to the conclusion is that there are some hit and miss things overall. So before we actually get onto what we watched and getting onto the actual chapter itself,
Oh yeah.
from the films that we have covered so far, so 84, WoWa, Man of Steel, BVS, and now this, so far, where would you put this? Question for the day.
It's not 84 levels of bad for me just yet.
Not
but
much
it-
is.
No. Because I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's understandable. Your needle is understandably going to move significantly between now and then we're going to talk about it, and that's going to move it even more. So
Yeah, it's like it's like I don't know.
fair enough.
It's like I have two buttons. It's like, is BVS worse or is this worse? And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Okay, so that's still pretty interesting because it's either a question of second or third from the top.
Yeah.
In terms of whether you like it or not, at least, Amy.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of quality, if we're putting it up against BVS, then it might be the best so far from what we've seen in this What We Watch arc, or it could be the second best. So that's a pretty strong start so far.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Yeah.
you, David?
I'd say for me, Wonder Woman 1984 is at the bottom.
It is the worst.
Thank God.
And then I'd go BVS.
Okay.
Because I'm not a big fan of that film. There's things in it that I am a fan of. Like, I love Ben Affleck as Batman. But yeah, I'm just not fond of the movie as a whole. Then I think I'd go Wonder Woman. And then maybe Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't
Ooh.
know. I could probably interchange it with Man of Steel.
Oh,
Um,
so either again top or
Either.
second from top.
Yeah.
it's one of those where this movie is way too long for its own good, and it's overindulgent as well. but I also had a good time watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the hard thing about it.
So it's trying to weigh it up. But yeah, it's definitely on the higher end for me.
Sweet. In terms of enjoyability, I guess, and in terms of quality, writing quality from everything we've spoken about on this stream so far, or in the podcast so far, I would have to put it at the top because nothing pissed me off as much as the other films.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And plus, I had a really good time. Like I said, it flew by for me. I was invested. Whereas with most of the others, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? So, but that perspective could absolutely change when we go through it frame by frame, because what I perceive to be less, maybe it's because there's so much of it, I'm losing a lot of the criticisms I have when I'm thinking of it offhand, that after talking about it, I'll be like, oh, yeah, because length really is not on this film's side.
Yeah,
Because,
it's really not.
Yeah, it could end up being one of those where it's like there's less problems per minute, but because there are so many minutes, it ends up having more problems by default,
Yeah.
kind of thing going on. So maybe that could be the issue with this film. But so far, at this moment, from everything that we have spoken about on this podcast, I'd also say it's either top or second between this and BVS. Which I never thought I'd say at the start of this journey. Like BVS coming out on top in terms of writing. Holy shit, what a world. Oh, that was a ride, David. Me and Amy endured every second of it. Holy shit.
Yeah, it strengthened our friendship a lot.
Like a nuke can hit this place and we'll still be friends.
Yeah.
Oh. So now that we've got that out of the way, what did you guys watch? Tell me.
Ooh, I have a list. I watched a film called Moxie, and it was cool. I liked it.
That's one by Amy Poehler, isn't
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. And it has Kevin from Brooklyn Nine-Nine in it, so that automatically makes it good.
it? Nice, Mark Evan Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Peralta's friend?
No. He plays Captain Holt's partner. Yeah, that guy. He's in it.
Okay.
And he's just generally cute in it because he has a crush on the main character's mum, and like, it's just so cute. And I'm just like, I want more of him in this film. But yeah, it's a pretty good film. It's basically this teenage girl starts up like a feminist group called Moxie, and so because like there's loads of sexism going on in their school. Like one girl is wearing a tank top, and obviously because it's showing her boobs, they're like, you have to take that top off, you have to change, because can't have the guys looking at the boobs and all that. So it's very, very female empowering and very guy empowering too, because like there is a scene where a guy's like wanting to join in, and he's like, oh, I get it if it's just a girls thing, and they're like, no, you join in too. And I kind of like that because I feel like a lot of films tend to just dismiss men in it, so I really like the fact that they had guys being involved in it as well.
Like Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wonder Woman 84 could learn a lot from this movie. It's very good, and it's also quite funny. I just had an issue with the end of it. I feel like it just kind of abruptly ends, but yeah, it was really good. And then what else did I watch? I watched Malcolm and Marie.
Oh, the Zendaya and John
Yeah.
David Washington film.
Oh,
and it was
that.
very good. It was really, really good. Like the cinematography is beautiful. Like every scene is like a painting. It's just so good.
I'll have to check that out. I've been meaning to.
I love the fact it's in black and white as well, and I looked up why, and they were like, because obviously you didn't get very many black actors in silent films when they were black and white, so they chose to have it in black and white, sort of to reclaim that, and I was like, that's really cool.
So is the film
Nice.
silent as well, or is it just the black and white
No, no,
aesthetic?
no, sorry. It's the black and white aesthetic. It's kind of like a homage to silent films that obviously didn't feature very many black actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really good. It's basically an entire like relationship kind of breaking down, but like you get so much of like what's going wrong and what's going with the relationship, and you're kind of left like, are they gonna stay together or what? It's very cool.
Nice, and
I enjoyed it.
it was also filmed during the pandemic as
Yeah.
well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really clever how they kind of managed to do that. It's just shot in one house, it's one location. There's a lot of like long takes, and you know how we love them long takes.
Yeah. I think it was one of the first productions that I'd heard of getting moving in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, it was really good. And
Nice.
it just shows how good an actress Zendaya is because obviously it's a role that like, and I don't think many people would be used to seeing her in.
Yeah.
Oop, I just
And
need
I think
to
she,
pop out for a
sorry.
wee moment. I'll be back.
Okay. But
Sure.
yeah, it's so good.
I think I think it's really great that Zendaya is kind of um, making strides in the industry and
Yeah,
giving it everything that she's got. Because we know her as like the Disney Channel star or
yeah,
MJ in the MCU Spider-Man films,
yeah,
but she's also got the show Euphoria,
yeah,
and she's got Malcolm and Marie as well. So it's really cool how she's showing all of the versatility. And I also really like John David Washington as well. So it's
yeah,
cool to see him in another film as well.
yeah. They're both really good together. It's actually quite funny. There's lots of like in jokes about filmmaking in it, which I thought was quite funny because one of the characters is a filmmaker, and basically, um, like his partner is an actress. So like, there's a lot of like him complaining about how like critics are about films and stuff, and the process of like making a film, and like some of it, I was laughing my ass off because it's like that's so true.
Nice.
So I loved all the little in jokes to like that most filmmakers will probably get onto.
That's really cool. I'll definitely have to check that out sometime.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you watched over the past week?
Yeah, I watched the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I watched the new Grey's Anatomy, and it made me cry. A lot.
I don't know if to say nice one,
I
but
mean,
make you cry.
it's kind of the thing with Grey's Anatomy. It makes you cry. It
Yeah,
hits
that
you in the
is that the
feels.
goal that it sets out for.
Yeah. Basically, Grey's Anatomy is the show you watch when you want to have a good cry. So yeah.
That's good then that it achieved its goal, I suppose.
Yeah, it did its job. It made me cry.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was really good though. I thought it was off to a good start. I'm intrigued. I'm invested. I want to know what happens.
Have
I
not
thought
watched
so
it.
too.
I think you might like it.
I really enjoyed it. I thought the first episode was really good. It's definitely a show that's more in the vein of Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Civil War,
Yeah,
which I really like about the show because I do really like both of those films. And it's got some great action, and the Falcon action has never been better.
yeah,
And I really love how they've took a deep dive on both of the characters and
yeah,
exploring their lives post Endgame, and it's really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it.
yeah. Same. But yeah, that's all I watched.
Nice.
Sweet, sweet. And what about you, David?
Well as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I have been watching Convenience, the Canadian Korean sitcom, and it's really, really good. It's so heartwarming, and the characters are so likable. And it stars Simu Liu, who's going to play Shang-Chi in the MCU, and
Oh,
also
right.
Paul Sun Hunley, who's in The Mandalorian as one of the Resistance fighters in the second season. And yeah, it's just such a fun show, and I love all the cast in it, especially the relationship between Simu and Paul's characters. Like it's a really fun and heartwarming show, but it also likes to go for the emotional beats as well. So I really like that about it. And I've also been doing a rewatch of The Mandalorian. I kind of got in the mood because I was like, oh, I love Kim's Convenience. So I want to see Paul and The Mandalorian again. So I thought I'd give it another watch, and I really enjoy the show. I'm about midway through season 2, and yeah, I'm just having a really good time.
Fair
Nice.
enough. Well, haven't really done much watching. Just sunk about 10 hours into Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Nice.
And, like, the more I play, I'm like just over halfway through now. I just started chapter
cool.
10. But,
Oh, nice.
it's such a 4 out of 10 game with some epic 10 out of 10 moments sprinkled in throughout to make you just have such a good time watching it.
Yeah.
Because this was supposed to be like the first hour or two of the first game. Holy
Yeah.
shit, you feel the extension.
Yeah,
Wow.
you do. You really do. It's very good.
It's like, fucking, I came to this one point where I was like, oh, a bridge is broken. Cool. Cloud, you've jumped extraordinary distances. Tifa, you've jumped extraordinary distances. Just jump
for
it.
it.
I can't jump it. Just jump it. And like, no, we gotta go this convoluted route. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, fine, let's go. I guess at least I can get some EXP.
Yeah. No, we gotta go this way and fight and farm XP for the next hour or so.
It is pretty dismal in that sense, but in terms of the cutscenes, the characters, I'm just having a really good time. Like, if they just put this out as like a 5-hour miniseries where I just watch it, I'd be having a lot more fun.
Fair enough.
Also, just today, I finished WandaVision.
Ooh,
Cool.
did you like it?
Wow, I don't think I've ever been so disappointed
Oh,
by
no.
Marvel film, by Marvel
Oh.
property. Wow, that whoa.
Oh.
Jeez.
Oh well, we will talk about that.
Yeah, like that's what we'll sort it out off episode, but wow. Like I wish I stayed at episode 3 where I was blissfully ignorant about what happens next. Because when we talked about it when it was still airing, I was like, oh yeah, episode 3, I'm really interested, I'm intrigued, the writing's pretty solid so far, you know, Wanda and Vision, they've got great chemistry, and that stays throughout. I'm glad that's there.
Yeah.
But wow. Episode 4 onwards, the writing just fell off a cliff as far as I'm concerned, and that is a conversation we will have if you wish.
I mean, I'd like to talk about it. I'm interested. Like, I really enjoyed it. But maybe like if we talk about it, it'll make sense to me. Like, and maybe I'd like to know your point of view on it.
Cool. But yeah, it's like just like Mando, I'm on the other side of the fence, and I'm just over here like, I'll see you guys one day. We'll like something together. Because
Yeah, like Hill House.
genuinely, that was the last time we agreed on something we liked, like
Yeah.
unequivocally, both quality and enjoyment-wise. Blind Manor was the last time, and
Yeah.
that was like,
Good thing is Mike
times.
Flanagan's got another 2
Oh, he
series.
does.
pipeline.
Yeah.
yeah,
I am excited.
He's got Midnight Mass, and I'll have to look up the other one.
but yeah, Mike Flanagan, save us. We need our unity.
Yeah.
The unity.
I do
mean-
like I do like Mike Flanagan a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, he's got Midnight Mass and he's got the Midnight Club, so he likes midnight, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep. He likes midnight.
You guys remember that game Midnight Club from back in the day?
Oh yeah.
It was alright. Oh,
I don't think I ever played it, but I heard about it and stuff.
it was perfectly fine. It was one of those games that went up against Need for Speed way back in the day. You know, when
Oh.
Need for Speed was, playable.
Yeah.
Not the Aaron Paul film.
I keep forgetting that exists, I still haven't seen it.
I've never seen it either.
No, me neither.
I know it exists.
Well, that's one step up from me. Oh, God. I haven't played a good Need for Speed game in like 10 years. And that's kind of sad.
That is very sad.
But yeah.
Get on that. Make a better Need for Speed game, guys. Come on.
I mean, it's EA. I'm not holding my breath.
Oh, to be fair, yeah. Never mind.
Oh, it's like, loot boxes. Yay. It's like, but can I race? No. Get your
No,
cards. But what does a card have to do with a car? Cards. Okay, then. Oh. Now then. Something about a league that is just.
Yeah. Something about Jesus, Joker.
Oh,
What?
God. You'll get to that moment. You will.
Oh, I am fully. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. It's gonna be
Please do.
funny. It's gonna be great. And then
Now
I
that
never
we've
have to
actu-
see it again.
Now that we've actually seen that scene, those photos make no sense to me.
Neither do I. But you know what? The teams.
I'm
Wait, so does he actually ever look like that in the film?
No.
What the fuck, Snyder? Are you okay?
Like in terms of the hair and the makeup, yeah, but like
That
with-
particular Jesus pose, it's not there.
yeah,
like-
and there's also
why?
a post where he's like holding up Batman's mask, his cowl, and laughing into it. No, that's not in the film.
Yeah,
Nothing
Oh,
remotely
that would
similar
be
to
such a
that.
cool movie, and he could make it in slow motion, and I wouldn't hate it.
It's like Jesus rising from a chair and lifting his arms like Superman did in Man of Steel. In slow motion.
Oh, you know what? I think me and slow motion, we don't have a good relationship at the moment.
Ooh. Oh. Right. So I guess we could start where we think might be best to start, rather.
At the start.
Yeah, it's a place called the Start.
We begin at the beginning.
Yeah. Warner Brothers logo. Oh my god, like the DC Universe intro cutscene. Remember when that meant something? DC
Yeah.
Comics.
I mean, right now.
Yeah. It really doesn't give me the same excitement that the Marvel one does. Like when I see the Marvel one, I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, I'm ready. When I see the DC one, I'm like, oh, you tried.
It's
They're
like the
there.
Dark Universe from fucking Universal. It's like, oh well.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's like, remember when DC films meant something?
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at now. Because the last one, as far as I'm concerned, was The Dark Knight, and that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a DC film.
13 years.
That's
Holy shit! Was it 2008?
Yeah.
yeah.
13 years. Good God.
Sorry, did you cut out? Did you say The Dark Knight Rises or The Dark Knight?
Oh shit! No, The
Is
Dark
that the-
Knight. Sorry, The Dark Knight. Yeah.
Yeah, 13 years.
The Dark Knight Rises is a
Yeah,
piece of shit on its own. Oh,
I didn't hate it. I see why you say that. Yeah.
fair enough. But I enjoy watching it, but probably not for the reason the film wants me to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, but yeah, 13 years it's taken for DC, and oh, I want a good DC film, like a proper good one.
Shazam was good. I liked Shazam.
Oh, shit,
I
yeah,
like
that
Shazam
exists.
as
I
well.
keep forgetting about that. I have to rewatch it sometime because I've only
Yeah.
seen it the once in the cinema.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Did we go together?
Yeah, we
had
all
a
went to
good
see
time.
it together.
Yeah, it was the three of us. And I think a friend of mine
Yeah.
joined as well. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot that.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was the last time I watched it. So hey,
Yeah. I think that was the only film that I went to see with you that wasn't an anime.
Aladdin.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, I did as well.
But Aladdin, yeah, again, only
It
once.
happened.
Aladdin
just the one
happened.
time.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it since.
Neither have I. I have no interest in seeing it again either.
That's fine.
Ooh. But yeah. We haven't even started the film yet.
I know, we're just going off on tangents already.
Oh, it's like DC. Remember when that meant something?
Yeah, it's like just we want to talk about good stuff for a little bit longer before we get into the bad.
Questionable stuff.
Yeah.
But so this is something I kind of enjoy about the Snyder DC films, where it's like this film starts where the previous one was ending, so you get kind of like
Yeah.
a recap of what's happening before we get to the film proper, so you're caught up on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really makes it feel like a trilogy in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do like it when like a continuation.
absolutely. So we start with Superman giving a chunker of a scream.
Yep. Big
Like,
yell.
you'd think with pipes like that, he's from Wales, related to Tom Jones or something like that. But when I was rewatching BVS, this scream is actually in BVS, but in real time, so you barely notice it. And I was like, oh, that's cool continuity. I'll give you that. The shockwaves are kind of okay.
Shockwaves, I was a bit like, this is a bit weird, this is going on for a bit.
Yeah. And it does go on for an age as well.
Yeah, I was like, is he done yet? No. Still going.
This was one of those moments where I was like, oh, it's still going. Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to end. It's never going to end. Okay.
Yeah, it goes on for a few minutes, and we get to see it in the land of the Amazons. We get to see it in Atlantis, and we get to see each of the mother boxes wake up. So already there's an improvement of the Justice League, where we don't know how they got activated. At least now we know Superman's
Yeah.
death scream is what awakens them. So fair enough.
They're two very different
Makes sense.
beasts for theatrical cut and the Snyder cut. Like
Absolutely.
they're so different from each other for many different reasons.
Yeah.
I am never watching the theatrical cut.
It's not a fun time, really.
Yeah, I'd say if you're gonna watch one version of Justice League, it's
This
the
is the
Snyder
one.
cut.
Yeah, it is the better version, I would say.
I'm definitely not, because it's just like, there's no point. It's going to make me angry.
Oh, yeah. Like, after seeing this version and then thinking back to Justice League, I was like, holy shit, like, wow, so much context is missing. And so much of it is reshot, and some of it was reshot for no reason. It's the same scene, but with a different angle, and I'm like, fucking why?
Why?
Oh.
I didn't know that, but that's just weird.
But yes, Death Scream. So it's going on. It wakes up the first box in Cyborg's home. Fair enough. We get an introduction to the cyborg. Oh my god.
I like him.
Yeah,
Vic Stone.
Mr. Stone
I like
himself.
Cyborg. Yep.
So next, the shockwave continues to go. We get to see Lex Luthor for a
Yep.
brief moment talking to Steppenwolf. Cool. It lasts a few seconds and then we move on.
Sorry. Did anybody laugh at that particular shot?
Ooh, let me see if I'm getting
Which
the right
shot,
one.
The one
The-
of Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Do you mean this
It wasn't
one?
there for very long, so. Oh, yeah.
It's so CG.
The water is not there.
Oh god, yeah.
That's what I was laughing
The
at. I was like,
clothes
oh
are
my
not wet.
god. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Dry as a bone.
Bless you. But yeah,
Thank you.
that immediately stuck out, and that is something that sticks out quite a bit in this film. The
Oh, yeah, the
CGI
CG.
at
Yeah,
points.
definitely.
Wow, PS2
Yeah, it's very
graphics.
noticeable, and it just kind of breaks any film immersion sometimes.
The most noticeable part, and we'll get to it in time, is the Themyscira segment where I was like, whoa, loads of PS2 graphics here, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, David, because then I wouldn't have to wait till we get to Paradise Island till we start talking about it.
There was a bunch
I
of
didn't
moments
even
just watching the film where I just laugh and be like, oh my god, that's CGI.
Yeah,
It's
oh.
pretty bad in places. I feel like that's quite dark though, so I didn't notice it.
The darkness helps,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
Helps
hide
to
everything.
mask it.
Oh no.
Like, it's like putting a band-aid on an amputated arm. It's like you're trying, but
Yeah.
it's not helping much. So the next one to get noticed is the one in Atlantis, and we get to see, you know, the man beater herself, Amber Heard, on screen.
Woo.
I couldn't disassociate her
paused-
at all.
I know. I actually paused the film and she was there, and I was like, "Yeah, I get to look at Amber Heard while I'm paused." Ugh.
Yeah, I was like, oof. Like, I know
Oh,
artist
wait.
and the art, but fucking hell, I couldn't disassociate her from any of the controversy at all.
No,
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just gonna wait until your scene's over.
Yeah. But we'll get to it in one of the future chapters, but Zack Snyder's Atlantis and James Wan's Atlantis operate under very different rules.
Oh, they're very
Oh.
different.
Oh right.
Because
I didn't know that.
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, David, but in James Wan's Aquaman, they can talk underwater, right?
Oh yeah, they can.
Yeah.
And they just big bubbles in this one, don't they?
Absolutely. And over here, they use like echolocation kind of thing to communicate with each other when the bubbles are not there, which I thought was a
that's-
neat detail, but
That's cool.
not there in Aquaman proper. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
And next, we get. Okay, so just so you have a scale of just how long this sequence is with the shockwaves and the slow motion,
Yeah.
we're at 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Jesus.
5
It does
minutes.
go on. It goes on for a fair while.
I didn't realize it was that long. Like I knew it was long, but
I got
It's
all the
unnecessary.
5
timestamps.
minutes.
It's unnecessarily long.
Like, at this point, we're 5 minutes in, and like it took us like longer than this to get through Wonder Woman 84. But
Yeah.
I'm really guessing we could do chapters 1 and 2 today at this rate.
Probably. Yeah, we probably can.
Like, I didn't expect that. But next, we're seeing the shockwave go through Wonder Woman's home. And this is where my first big question comes along. So they're in this bunker of sorts. And you've
Yeah.
got a legion of women guarding the box. Now, my
Yeah,
big
they're
question,
just chilling there.
are they there on rotation all day and all night? Because this is a very important box.
I was questioning that as
Yeah,
well when that scene appeared. I was like, so are they like this?
Yeah, it's like, are they
Do
like
they just,
permanently
like-
stationed here?
Yeah, like how do they eat and sleep? Do they
And
get to
then
leave?
there's the
Is this
second
their
question
life?
of why is it so far away from the center of the city? Like, I get you want it
That's a
separate
good
because,
question.
there is inherent danger in keeping that something that dangerous so close to the city, but why not, like, slightly far away? That way, in case of an emergency, like in this film, you don't have to wait 20 minutes for backup.
Yeah.
Just logistically, the Amazons, as we have discovered by this point, aren't great at their job.
No, they are what scholars call idiots.
Hey, it's caught on. But also, my third question is: in the first Wonder Woman, they're fighting in case they need to battle Ares, whereas in this one, they're fighting and training in order to battle Apocalypse and Darkseid. And I'm like, okay, so which big disaster are you training for? Because you seem to flip
All of
flop
them.
between
I
films.
don't know. All of them, any of them, whichever one happens first.
Like, flip a coin. Today we're fighting against that. The next day we're
Yeah.
fighting against that.
Tomorrow we fight against the patriarchy. I don't know.
What patriarchy? They're all women.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. I couldn't think of something to say, so I was just like, patriarchy.
We're fighting the Cookie Monster. It's
Everyone
like,
fights it. Yeah.
alright, have at it.
I would watch that.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
Mr. Mixelpidlick comes into like a Superman movie or something.
Oh
and
jeez.
the Cookie Monster.
But literally though, could you imagine if it's like they've got that Amazon film announced, haven't they? So maybe that film is just them taking on the Sesame Street gang. I don't know.
Yeah. Taking on Big Bird.
And you know what? Based on the competency of these warriors as portrayed in the films, I'd put my money on the Sesame Street gang.
Yeah, they'd win.
That
Hands down.
that big yellow bird could fuck them up, man.
Big Bird.
They'd just sit on them.
The big bastard of a yellow bird could really fuck
Yeah.
up some shit, you know? Like, he's a tall
Yeah.
dude.
Oh yeah, who do you think would win? The Sesame Street Gang or Steppenwolf?
Ooh.
That's a
See,
tough one.
it depends on who's on the roster. If it's the entire Sesame Street gang, then, I mean, let's be honest, it's the Sesame Street gang. Because,
Just the Count. Just
Yeah.
the Count.
Oh, just the Count. Ooh, that makes it interesting.
Just
Now
the
we have
Count
an even
versus
fight.
Steppenwolf.
No. Do you know what it'll be like? Picture Avengers Endgame, but with Steppenwolf instead of Thanos. And Elmo
And the Count.
instead of
Oh my
Cap.
god, Elmo. Oh. No, it's like,
And then it's like Sesame Street Assemble.
what's the fucker's name? Is it the Grouch? The one who lives in the trash?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Grouch.
Grouch.
Yeah, like, imagine if Grouch is there and Steppenwolf comes up to him and is like, "Rah, Steppenwolf, fuck off, I want to sleep." like, oh, okay, I'm sorry I bothered you, sir, and then just walks away.
The rest of them are so nice.
Oh my god. I want this film now. That's the crossover we never knew we wanted. Justice League and Sesame Street.
I know, right?
It's the movie we all deserve.
But yeah, 3 big questions about the logistics of how the Amazons are handling the safekeeping of this mother box, and none of the answers are good because they're not answered.
Yeah.
But they touch one of the Amazons touch it, and it wakes up, and we cut straight
Like,
to Bruce Wayne in the ice.
Yeah. The box wakes up and it's like, why don't you have coffee? I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, and this moment brings up a lot of issues on how the mother boxes, Steppenwolf, and his army all operate, and how long it's been since the box awakened compared to when the rest of the film's events are happening. A lot of issues here. Because timeline-wise, it's established that they can sense when a mother box is activated, so Steppenwolf comes down and picks it up.
Yeah, so why didn't he
This is the
down
moment when he
this
should have come.
time?
Why didn't he
Yeah,
come?
like, why didn't he come later? That's weird.
Yeah.
Must have been having a tea break.
It's like, oh, I'll get it next.
I think the one reason why that is because it was in the script.
I think you might be right.
I think that's the reason why.
Yay!
Oh.
That's catching on too.
Gotta build it up, you know.
Oh. But yeah, this is why like there are so many mechanics in this film that are just outright either contradictory or doesn't make sense.
Actually, you know what? I know what it was.
The Flash.
He was waiting for Hippolyta to be there.
Ah, a spurned love reunited.
Reunited. And it felt so good.
The rom-com between Steppenwolf and Hippolyta. That's the thing we're missing for context.
Starring Kieran Hines and Connie Nielsen.
Oh man. An Amazon and a Roman in the same room together. So yeah, the next scene is a nebulous amount of time later. It could be a week, could be a month, could be a year, could be a decade. Who knows? But
We don't know.
But which is weird because in BVS they said, 18 months later. Whereas this is like, nah, fuck that.
Like, boom, hello.
Yeah, which is further complicated by something that Zack just recently said that ties into something that happens later in the film.
I understand why you're being so vague. It's at a point when Amy hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's alright.
You know what? If you want to talk about it, you can.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
David, if you can make a note of it and bring it up next time.
Yeah, sure thing.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No, it's fine. Because time is going to be brought up so much during this conversation, so don't worry too much about it.
Okay, no worries. I just had a really hard time getting through it. I was trying to get through it today, because I figured like there might be parts later on that we want to talk about at the start, but I just couldn't get through it. I needed to take a break.
That's fine. Most of the issues that I have with this chapter are concealed in this chapter and the next chapter in isolation, so it's really chapter 3, 4, 5, 6 where things kind of go off the rails a lot more.
Okay.
So it's okay. But yeah, this is just the first instance of time being kind of inconsistent in this film, so don't worry about it. It will come again.
Yeah.
Because you know how I'm like when it comes to time.
Yeah.
So the point was, a nebulous amount of time later, bless you,
Thank you.
Bruce is somewhere in the ice, in some remote location. I'm guessing it's Iceland? I could be wrong.
I think so.
So he travels over the mountains and travels to the sea. Holy shit, this segment is long. Okay, so 6 minutes, 16 seconds. That's where we cut to Bruce Wayne. And for the next 2 minutes, he's in the mountains fucking about with nothing happening.
Gotta let those credits roll, dude.
Fucking hell. Like, 2 minutes later from the introduction of Bruce Wayne in the frozen tundra, we get to the village where Aquaman is. And I'm like, oh, cool. Holy shit, 2 minutes and 10 seconds between them cutting to Bruce and him ending up here.
Yeah.
We're going to breeze through this film, now that I think about it.
But we have 5 minutes of Superman dying.
Genuinely, like when you think about it,
they spend so much long lingering on certain things in this film that when you really think about it, that could have been cut.
Yeah.
I guess Zack wanted to go for like a Lord of the Rings style narrative for the film. Like I guess like lingering shots, big story, epic in scope. And don't get me wrong, he achieved that.
Oh, he did.
Why did there have to be so much slow-mo and lingering?
See,
I
a lot of
know.
people were like, "Oh, it's like it's a 4-hour film. It's long. It's like," and then some people were defending it, saying, "Oh, but it's like Lord of the Rings." And my immediate counter was, "Yeah, but Lord of the Rings is good."
Yeah.
and about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Extended cut, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
True.
But yeah, Return of the King is totally justified in its runtime when it comes to the extended version. I'll put my foot down with that. But holy shit, like, you know, on the one hand, by this point in Wonder Woman 84, we're at like an hour and a half in our conversation by the time we reach this point in the film, at the 8-minute mark. And that film's already broken. So on the one hand, this film's taking longer to tell its story, so maybe we might just end up breezing through it because of just how little actually happens.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not a lot in the first chapter, really.
It's got to come together.
Yeah.
But he finally comes down to the village and talks to the chief with Aquaman there. Oh, hey.
Mm-hmm.
So Bruce is looking for, the Aquaman because he wants to put his little team together. And
Arthur Curry.
Arthur Curry, he's a cute little boy.
Harmless.
Yeah, not
He's
a bad bone in his body.
Adorable.
Just wants to be friends and just. But yeah,
Whoa,
it's
that dude looks like Khal Drogo.
Oh, he does.
Now that you mention it.
Crazy.
He also reminds me of Conan the Barbarian.
Ooh, yeah, I see.
True.
Way. So yeah, 9.5 minutes into the film, we finally begin.
Here we go.
So,
here it goes.
there's that whole conversation between the two of them where Bruce is looking to talk to Arthur, and Arthur's like, "Nah, fuck off, bro," and the villagers are like, "Nah, fuck off, bro," and Bruce is like, "Oh no, but I got money, see?"
Yeah.
That's about it. Like,
That's his superpower.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, did he really just pull out money? I was like, that's just what a douchey move.
I mean,
Like,
fair
I'll
enough.
pay you.
he kept his word. He did say he'll pay him for information, so
Yeah, that's
fair
true.
enough.
That's true.
Very true. I don't know. I just was like, that's douchey. It
Money
felt very
talks, I
douchey
guess.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, that is kind of the reaction that the chief, I'm gonna say, the leader of the village has. Is like, oh, for fuck's sake, dude, you can wave your money all you want. We're still not gonna tell you.
Yeah, like, seriously, take your money somewhere else. Bye.
Yeah, he cusses
So, like,
out
we're
Bruce
poor,
Wayne.
not stupid.
But see, like, I'm wondering here, because Bruce already knows it's Arthur, because he's seen the footage.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, why is he going with this big song and dance when he could just isolate Aquaman somewhere in this village and talk to him in private instead of having this big fucking presentation?
Yeah, it could just be like, yo, I saw you. You're underwater for a long time. Dude, I know. I know.
He's like, and he's just giving him longing glances, with his, mystical eyes. And I'm like, look, bro, like, I get it. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, maybe him having this big fucking pointless conversation with Aquaman in the chief's hut could be justified if there was no footage in the PowerPoint
like
presentation.
No, but he's like pretending not to know, and I kind of figured he's just doing that so that he'll I don't know, talk to him, but it's a really weird roundabout way of doing it. It's like, why didn't you just say to him, look, I know.
Yeah, exactly. And
Like,
this is
sure, he'll deny it, but you could just be like, I have footage of you, I know.
and this
Gotta
is
change. Gotta change it up. Like he was already going for the individual technique with Barry Allen later on.
Yeah,
true, I
I
guess.
mean I mean that as a joke.
yeah.
But yeah, like this. Oh, what was I gonna say about this scene? But fuck my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
How fucking dare you?
Oh, it's just gone.
We were talking about him talking conversation. What I was going to say is that in this film, it's very clear and it's established multiple times that Bruce Wayne is on the clock. He's trying to get these people together before a nebulous time limit, and he's trying to get it done as soon as possible. So why the fuck is he taking his time with this?
Yeah.
You know?
Like, oh, you're just gonna like have some banter with Aquaman while, potentially bad things are coming.
And I'm just like, look, get the information to him directly. Like, be fucking Batman, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least behave like the Batman, because, you know, like Batman in Iceland in a remote location. It's like, oh, kind of alone here. But yeah, this is like Bruce Wayne trying to scratch his left ear with his right hand, but the right hand is reaching over the top of his head in order to get there. It's like, why? So after offering the money, Arthur agrees to go with him. And this line just bugs the fuck out of me. Okay, so the conversation here is so stilted. There is no flow whatsoever. Because it's almost like, really? Dressed like a bat? Yeah, like a bat. Ugh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Like,
Nice
Huh?
line.
I know.
Nice job there.
It's like, it's so, there's no rhythm to it, and like, I'm not expecting Sorkin-esque or, curse the name at this point because of everything that's coming out, but it's not Whedon-esque dialogue. I'm wanting, excuse me, but just have some flow to it,
Yeah. Like it just seemed like a weird. It felt like it was just I need to give Aquaman a line to make fun of Batman, and then Batman didn't have a retort. And I feel like Batman would have a retort of some kind to that. Like I don't feel like he'd just be like, yeah, yeah. Because it was almost like awkward, like
Also,
oh my crush is making fun of me level of awkward.
but it's like it's the fact that fucking Bruce Wayne, the most secret person in the secretive universe, is
And he's
talking
just
about
like,
him
yeah.
being Batman out in the open.
Yeah.
Fucking
He's just
what?
like, what up?
With a town following them, pretty much.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, oh yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But next Aquaman says a chunker of a line. Strong man is strongest alone. And I'm like, ever heard of that? And Bruce Wayne's like,
No.
nah, it's the opposite. And I'm like, yeah, because Aquaman, what the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, a little bit.
And it's like, I do kind of like how when after he said that it's like strong man is strongest alone, and Batman is like, oh wait, I'm doing this for Superman, he died by my side, and Aquaman just goes, yeah, my point exactly. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
that part got me, but
that made me giggle.
it's like, okay, so that's the thing that really frustrated me with this film when it comes to dialogue. It's like there are so many instances of potential,
Yeah,
but throughout most of it, it's so stilted.
yeah, it's just like, oh no. That
Well,
was almost good.
yeah. And then Aquaman just kind of falls into the sea, and do you know what? This is the first instance of so many guys of the Justice League being topless in this film.
Yeah.
Oh, Amy, you're not even halfway through. You have wait till the second
ooh.
half.
I get more topless scenes.
Oh, like there are so many topless scenes, and I'm like, ooh, and they're all guys, and I'm like, Zach, the ladies appreciate this. But yeah, he zooms off, and okay, so I'm gonna give you my theory on the fucking bizarre thing that happens next. We have like a
Okay.
good minute of women like singing after Aquaman
Yeah.
leaves.
I thought it was
No.
weird.
I'm
It was
thinking
very strange.
I was like, what is happening?
I'm thinking like, oh, maybe it's like a prayer, you know? It's like, oh, the god of the sea coming to bring them food every
Oh,
winter
yeah,
so that they
maybe.
can survive. And I'm like, yes, true, and I'm okay with this woman, you know, picking up Aquaman's clothes and smelling him because she's got a crush on him. But why does it have to last so long?
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, okay, is this gonna end?
Like that scene
I
felt
don't really
so
know.
long.
I don't really know why it had to be in the film in the first
I was
place.
like, what does this serve? Like, is it something to do with his power? Like, what are you trying to say here with this scene? Like, surely you see, you have a scene in a film, it serves a purpose. You don't just have scenes that go nowhere because it just kind of ruins the film for me, in my opinion.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like the theory I came up with is a best guess because like, and I don't even. It can't. These people are kind of stupid for staying in an inhabitable location on Earth instead of moving somewhere where they know they're not going to get any food during the winter. But this kid, oh, I say kid, but Aquaman has been coming here for a while now, giving them food during the winter. So maybe he's gotten kind of like this mythic kind of air about him in this village. And I'm literally going off visual context, and I
Yeah.
don't even know if it's right or wrong. I'm just plucking things out of the air.
Yeah.
And the reason
It
why
was
I want
weird.
things to make sense.
Yeah, I feel like this didn't need to be there. This could have been easily just Aquaman being like, no, goodbye.
Yeah,
Didn't
And
need
and,
the
and,
whole.
and if it, sorry,
no, go on.
I was just gonna say, and if it were to be in there, I feel as though they could they could have edited it so the song overlaid another scene, like
Yeah,
I was just gonna
transition.
say, literally,
yeah, like it put to a different.
like it could be used as a transitional thing where
Yeah.
as Batman is turning around and going, they're singing almost like a prayer, and then the next scene is of Martha standing on Superman's grave. So it could be like, oh, so maybe it's kind of like a prayer of sorts. They're praying to their deity figure who's
Yeah.
bringing them food, and also counteracting is a prayer for the son that Martha lost. So that could be an interesting transition
Yeah.
if they shortened the fuck out of it.
Yeah. It just didn't need to be there. It was just.
Because like when you connect it with the visuals in that order, it creates an internal fucking lore where it's like, oh, they're praying to their deity because their Martha's shown praying to his son and stuff like that. So, but it's like it could have been done so much more efficiently by saving time. But yeah, Martha,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Martha is at Clark's grave,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of looks like a different location from BVS, but you know, I
Yeah.
guess they couldn't find the same place.
Maybe.
And David, there's a lot to be said about people not finding things they've lost in this film, isn't there?
There is.
Fucking hell, we'll get to that in time.
Oh.
Oh my god. Amy, I can't remember if you've gotten to that point yet, but something happens in this film, including a lost and found, and my god, it made me piss myself laughing.
Don't think I've got to that bit yet.
Okay, like you'll piss yourself laughing when it happens, believe me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because it kind of breaks the film.
Okay.
And it's so funny. But yeah, Martha is at the grave paying her respects, and then gets in the car and leaves, and it turns out she has to move because she can't afford to keep the house anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no. But
Hard
you know,
times.
you know what I'm thinking in this moment? See, we over here at What We Watch have seen BVS. And
Yeah.
you know what Bruce Wayne said to Clark after their epic fight? Martha
I
will
will-
not die tonight.
Yeah.
So, if he's willing to save Martha, and he's feeling so hung up about Superman dying, you'd think he'd help her with some payments, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd imagine so.
Yeah. There's just been Batman like an asshole.
Like I get that he wanted to do the whole
I bought the
Seven
bank
Samurai
moment, but-
thing and bring together the League, but like could have helped Martha out.
Like, you could have told
Yeah.
Alfred, hey, you know, put a direct debit, send Martha like £500 every week or something, you know? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It won't even take 5 minutes. It'll be
Yeah.
all right.
yeah.
You use your damn superpower, man. Come on.
Like, I can set up a direct debit on my phone in like a minute. Like, seriously. Bruce, you're just being negligent. That made me laugh.
It'll amount to some convey.
Oh my god. But yeah, I found that funny considering the emphasis they put on Martha and Batman wanting to save Martha in the previous film. I'm like, oh, honey, you tried.
Yeah. Apparently it's fine as
fuck.
long as she's alive. That's the
No.
only thing he cares about. You're alive in Port now, it's okay.
Yeah. You have to move now, but hey, you know. Oh my god. And now we're back to Bruce. And he's at the airport and he's talking to Sassy Alfred.
I like Sassy Alfred, he's my favorite.
I kind of like Alfred here, where he's like, do you know what? Maybe the next person we're going to look at is going to be in Hawaii or the Bahamas,
Yeah.
you know, where
Yeah.
it's warm. I just want Alfred. I want a Jeremy Irons Alfred solo film. That's what I want
Yeah.
at this point.
Yes.
I want that. I would watch the heck out of that.
I was thinking after watching this film, you know how in Ant-Man we all kind of want, it's like, oh, the events of the MCU narrated by Michael Pena.
Yeah.
Like, I want,
want
the
that.
DCEU narrated by Jeremy Irons as Alfred.
Yes.
and you know what? To go on with Justice League, rated R.
Oh my god, with Jeremy Irons dropping F-bombs left and right.
Oh my god, yes.
And him being as manic as he was in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
I still haven't seen that film.
Oh my god. Do you know what? For the meme value, I say watch it.
Look forward to it.
Oh, it's not good. Brace yourself. But it's so funny. Jeremy Irons is amazing.
It's one of those where, do you know, where you hear a film so bad and you're like, I've got to wait for the right moment to watch it.
Like
Yeah.
Twilight.
Like Twilight or like Cats. I still haven't seen Cats.
Yeah,
Neither
I
have
still
I.
think
Because
that.
I've heard so many bad things about it. I'm like, I can't want to watch Cats.
I
I
saw.
want to know, but I'm also scared.
Talking about cats, I recently saw a video by a YouTuber called Cynical Reviews, who did a video on music.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I didn't realize music was so problematic. The Sia film.
Oh,
God, yeah.
Got
Do
you,
you-
yeah.
Do you now see why I was like raising my issues with it last week?
Holy shit, he was talking about some of the things that came up in that film. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
people let her get away with filming
Yeah.
that?
People were just like, okay then, and she apparently got Autism Speaks, which apparently is a very shitty organization that doesn't help people with autism at all. It just kind of basically demonizes them.
And then getting rid of the autistic actor you cast
Yeah.
because she was difficult to work with. I'm like, Sia, Sia, stop.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe her. I think she did. I don't think she did that. I think she may have just said that she did.
That makes it worse.
I know.
Like watching that video and watching the behind the scenes context of what was going on and what was in the film, I was like, why? Just
Yeah.
why? Wow.
It's so messed up. Plus, I saw an interview that she did with someone, and someone basically likened the autistic character to a wig. And they were like, "Oh, you basically gave them a voice," and Sia was nodding and smiling, and it's like this lady literally just said, "Autistic people are wigs," and you are nodding. Are you okay? Like, I
Oh,
was genuinely shocked. I was like, "This is why does this exist?"
it's
Sorry for
like
my little rant there, but I was just like, ah.
no, it's fine. Like there's a few films that have come out like that, like um, The Fanatic with John Travolta, done by Limp Bizkit. Like that's another autistic film that's just fucking hilarious for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, but like the guy who made that video, he got asked which is worse, music or cuties, and he was like, "What a fucking question." And I'm
Ugh,
like,
yeah.
"Ooh." So if you have a hard time figuring out if cuties or music is worse, damn, you must have fucked up.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way,
Minor rant.
yeah, Bruce Wayne is entering the plane, and now we get Lois Lane buying a coffee in slow motion. Well, not. Oh wow, that was real time. Huh. Must have been a. Oh, this is the second coffee that was slow motion.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's Zack!
Yeah,
Back in
he
his
makes
film?
an appearance.
Oh, I didn't know that. I have to go back and watch that and see.
I just
Is he
happened
the
to
guy
land on
giving
the
her
frame.
coffee?
No, not him.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure him in the waistcoat is Zack.
That's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
Zach.
Yeah. This scene made me genuinely angry. I was like shouting at my screen. I went upstairs to Ryan and I went, "Fucking slow motion in this film!" And he was like, "Oh my god, really?"
I
Because he
mean,
was like, Are you excited to watch 4 hours of slow motion?" When I was telling him I was watching it, and I was like, "Ah, it's so annoying. Why?" I was sitting there going, "Okay, she's walking somewhere. Why is this in slow motion? Why is it ever gonna end?" And I was just like, "What's with the music over her walking?" And then she has a conversation with a guy, doesn't she? And I'm like, "Why
The
is this in
policeman.
slow motion?"
I mean, on the plus side, despite the slow mo lasting forever, at least she got a coffee for the original Jimmy Olsen.
This is true.
Shit, yeah, that's true. The cop.
Obviously making up for what happened in BVS.
Yeah. It's just
with DCEU's Jimmy Olsen.
Oh god, yeah. Rip. But
And it,
oh, go on.
I'll never get over that. That upset me when that happened.
the slow motion. It's supposed to be an emotional moment. She's going to not Batman. Sorry, Superman's
Did I miss
grave.
something?
No,
Oh, God.
my brain just did a silly. But yeah, she goes to Superman's grave, and it's just like, this is supposed to be really emotional and sad, and I was just like, I feel nothing.
See, that's really
The
interesting.
slow motion ruined it for me.
I would argue that if that moment was in slow motion, and if we have spent the previous two films really building their relationship, it would have been impactful. But
I
because
completely
the
agree with
writing
you.
wasn't there in the previous two films, and they're doing the slow motion, it's a moment held up by fucking toothpicks. And because of that, the faults are all the more amplified as a result of that. I would argue.
I completely agree with you, Dylan.
Because
it's one of those things where it's obviously going for the emotions in this scene, but the relationship between Clark and Lois,
it's so superficial.
It's so superficial and it hasn't been well developed. And at the end of the day, I'll get onto it later as we get along in the film, but I feel as though we've been told about who Clark is more than we've actually gotten to know him as well.
Absolutely. And we've been told that these two have this epic love affair with each other. And I'm like, okay, so here's the difference, right? Like, imagine you've got like a Tony and Pepper kind of build up.
Yeah.
And then you have
Yeah.
this scene. with the slow motion, with the music, it would be earned. But it's all the more annoying when there's all the slow motion, all of the music behind it, wanting to squeeze the emotion out of your nutsack when you know it's held up by fucking cotton candy instead of like a solid foundation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I guess that's why, but I mean, for me, because the slow motion had been going on for so long, it you know, if it was just they showed us his grave and it lingered and it showed us all the flowers and stuff and it lingered on her having her hand on the grave, it might have worked better as a shot. But because we've just had slow motion of her walking literally from the coffee shop to the grave, the slow motion has now lost its impact for me.
Mm.
And I was just like, why? I get it. Like, I get slow motion can be really effective in some shots, but this shot, it just didn't work. And it completely took me out of it and just kind of didn't like it.
No, that's completely understandable. It's one of those things where it lingered for far too long, and I feel as though there wasn't a huge need for it.
No.
It's the tagline for this film, it lingered for a bit too long.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is coming from someone that I actually do love this film, but even I'm saying it lingered for a bit too long.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. But at least I'm glad that this film is taking the time to have plans for future payoffs in the film. I'm glad they're taking the time to do that at least. Because this scene is a planned. And I'm like, okay, you're doing more already than the previous two films, so I'll give you credit there, but this payoff, this moment, this payoff, you didn't earn it, so fuck off.
Oh, okay.
Oh. So.
And by the way, it's no fault of the actors in terms of Henry Cavill and Amy Adams. Like, they're great, but like the characters,
the writing.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Just a bit poo.
Yeah, I think
it's like I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I'd love to get another film with him as Superman, full on in the spotlight. But in terms of what we've gotten so far in, do you want to call it four films?
No.
But like, you get what I mean. From what we've gotten so far, it's like there's not much there in terms of character. It's like, I know who Steve Rogers is in the MCU, but do I know who Clark Kent is, Kal-El, other than what I've been told?
Exactly, that is the big difference.
Not really.
Like, let's go to the original let's forget Marvel for a second. Let's go to the original Superman.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Christopher Reeves as Superman, right? Like, after the 20-minute Krypton opening, within the first 10-15 minutes, we know exactly who Clark is.
Yeah.
The planet Krypton.
Krypton. Oh my god, Marlon Brando. Fucking hell. $2 million he got for that role. For like 10 minutes, a week's worth of work. Holy that's the life I want, man. Like $2 million for a week's worth of work. Fucking hell.
Yes, please.
But hey, the Marlon gets what the Marlon wants, I guess.
He is the Godfather.
Fucking hell. He met an offer they couldn't refuse.
Literally.
Boy, I gotta rewatch the original Superman films. It's been a while.
Me too. I haven't watched them in a long time.
It's been about...
After your exams and assignments are done, we should just get on watch together and watch the Superman films together.
Yeah, we should.
Be cool.
I'd like to do that.
From Superman the movie all the way up to Superman Returns.
I was just thinking the first two, but you know what? If you want,
why not?
We can have a laugh at 3, 4, and Returns.
Oh my god! Like, my dad watched Return recently, and he was like, "You know, I couldn't remember this film, and after watching it, I don't want to remember this film." I was like,
well, I like Brandon Routh though.
Oh, it's like this film. It's like, we like all the actors, we just think the film's shit, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh.
little bit.
But I think that's been the consensus of the DC universe so far in these conversations. Like, all the actors put in solid performances. The visual
Oh yeah,
effects,
definitely.
for the most part, are decent. The music is epic in the Zack Snyder films. But
Yeah, even here, I think
I've been
Junkie
listening to
XL
the.
did a.
Yeah, it's so good.
Sorry.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna say I've been
definitely.
listening to it recently, and I'm like, holy shit, it's good. But yeah, holy shit! Like, it's literally the writing that is holding these films back. And I think
Definitely.
I can't remember when we were in uni, and I think it was around the time when we were watching Shape of Water or something like that, or maybe it was before. I can't remember. But I remember telling you, it's like, I love Zack Snyder. I kind of wish he gets a good screenwriter behind him so he can finally make like a great film.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like. Hear me out. It's kind of like Ridley Scott. He can do the
Yeah.
visuals. He can do the visuals, but when it comes to choice of script, he doesn't always have the best script to work with, and so
Yeah.
a lot of his movies often turn out not great.
Yeah, and I think I compared in terms of aesthetics and dialogue choices. I think I compared him to like George Lucas because the dialogue in Zack Snyder films, for the most part, are kind of horrendous a lot of the time.
Kind of. Yeah.
But the visuals, the music, like the metaphor, all of that is there. A lot like
Yeah.
George Lucas.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, imagine if they actually got a great script to work with. And they've got
Yeah.
great ideas, but someone just needs to condense them into a great script, that's all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
so Lois is walking up.
Yep, and she's.
Extremely slowly.
Oh, that's the next thing I want to bring up. Lois is there thinking about sad things in slow motion.
As you do.
Okay, so because I don't know how much time has passed so far,
Yeah.
here's me wondering when she's looking at Superman's monument, why the absolute fuck have you not cleaned that up yet?
Good point. Good point.
Oh dear.
Like, clearly it's been a while because Bruce Wayne has managed to get a full on beard going, so why leave the wreckage there? Clean it up. Oh, like that part annoyed me a little bit. It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. It makes no sense.
And next, we go to London for, I would say, a contender for one of the most pointless scenes in the film.
Oh god, yeah.
Like in the
Gotta
grand
introduce Wonder Woman.
It's like, in the grand scheme of things, in the context of this film, what purpose did any of this serve? You know, with the fucking doomsday terrorists wanting to wind back the clock and all that. I'm like, what's this got to do with anything?
Yeah.
I suppose. I'm just speaking from like my head here. I suppose the purpose that it could serve is to acknowledge the fact that Wonder Woman is back out in the open after the events of BVS and being inspired by Superman.
But that happened in
That's
Wonder Woman.
I know, but like
Oh, okay.
she says, she walked away from humanity, and she says that she walked away from humanity in BVS, and then as this is the direct sequel, maybe that's what.
Okay, see, that theory would work if the film Wonder Woman didn't exist. Because at the end of Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, what does she do? In present day, she jumps out, leaping into the sky, wanting to save people.
That's true.
And they're all in the same universe, so, like, That's the thing. For these films are so unaware that the side films exist,
That's
and the
Yeah.
true.
side films
The,
have no idea
the,
these films exist.
the Snyder films are very self-contained.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
It's like James Wan Lantis, completely different from Zack
fucking hell,
Yeah.
Snyder's.
The
James
Zack
Wan.
Snyder universe feels like it's Zack Snyder's very own fan fiction, and he's just ignoring the rest of the films.
Like, they're all using his characters. That's the thing, It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we've got this group. We're gonna make these films. Great. So what are you gonna do in this film? I'm gonna do this, but that contradicts this film here. So, oh, okay, Patty, you do what you want, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like Zack Snyder's films, the mainline story are their own film. Patty Jenkins is in another plane of existence altogether. James Wan is in a different state of being altogether. Davy
I
Dare.
love his Atlantis.
Davy Dare is locked up in some prison in Tartarus, just waiting for his true version of the film to come out. It's just like,
I love so much how different James Wan's Atlantis is. Like, it's just amazing how different it is.
that's the thing. Like, we don't actually get to see full on Atlantis. We just get to see the one stronghold, and apparently that's
But
because
the mechanics of the Atlantis.
oh, the mechanics.
are
Yeah,
different.
absolutely. But it's like clearly they were working together because James Wan asked Zack, "Oh, hey Zack, I want to introduce Atlantis. Could you not do that in Justice League?" So like, "Oh, okay, I guess sure. I'll let you introduce Atlantis." And now it's like, "Oh yeah, I'll introduce Atlantis, but I'll disregard everything else about your film." It's like, what the fuck just happened? Oh. But yeah, I guess it's kind of cool because I get to see Ramsay Bolton in a film that's not a Guy Ritchie film.
Oh no, that's not Ramsey.
Roose Bolton, sorry.
Yeah,
It was a Bolton, I know that much.
that's true.
uh, I need alcohol for this film.
I do like the idea of Wonder Woman getting her own action sequence towards the beginning of the film, but it's like you said, it doesn't really serve that much purpose to the rest of the film.
Exactly.
Because it is cool, because in the sense that you got Batman off doing his seven samurai thing, and then you've got Wonder Woman being a hero, and as they're kind of the spearheads of the Justice League at this point, the forming Justice League. It's like, yeah, I can. That's cool. I like that, but like you said, it doesn't really add up to the rest of the film.
And I have some issues with this fight scene as well. Because they're trying to blow up 4 square blocks in London. And I want to bring up a very important thing, because that's what the Brit tells Wonder Woman. Now, as people who live in England, have we ever referred to the geography of a city in blocks?
I have not.
Amy, what about you?
Sorry.
Um,
How about me? What? Sorry.
I was just asking, like, in this fight scene with Wonder Woman, one of the British eco-terrorists, or whatever the fuck they want to call themselves,
Yeah.
says that we plan on wiping out 4 square blocks with this bomb. And I'm just asking you, as a fellow Brit, well, I say fellow, I'm an immigrant, but as a fellow human who lives in Britain, have you ever referred to geography in a city in blocks?
No, I have not.
This is
I'd probably say like streets or
yeah, but that's the thing. Like, this is clearly a script written by an American who has no idea about the vernacular that Brits use in conjunction with geography. Because it's like pavement and sidewalk, two very different. It's the same thing, but different words that mean the same thing in different continents. Blocks and streets.
It's not a huge problem to me, but at the same time, I do see what you mean, because it is like Don't say that.
Yeah, like it just
Like,
stood out
that's
to
not
me.
Britishism.
Yeah, like it's not a Britishism because like the only thing it hurt for me was the immersion because I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're Brits, say British things, you fucks.
Yeah.
But oh, do you know what I did like about this scene though? Have you guys seen Snatch?
Yes.
Yes.
I love the fact that one of the gangsters from Snatch was the police officer in this film.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that
really?
was quite
That's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah, that's the guy who
Yeah.
was in Tyrone's car when they get hit in Benicio del Toro's van.
Oh, that's cool.
So when he came up, me and my dad were like, "Hey!" Because we both love Snatch. Oh my god, I want to see Snatch now. A much better film. Right.
No disagreements there.
Yeah.
And knowing that there is a hostage situation going on underneath her, Wonder Woman is epically posing on top of the building.
Because that's what you do.
And my second question is, how did she get here from France?
The Flash.
Like, the Flash of the fucker just keeps messing everything up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because the next time we see Wonder Woman, she's back in France at the Louvre cleaning up statues, and I'm like, Diana, why were you in London? What were you doing in London? What's going on here?
Yeah. What's going on?
I
yourself
don't
over
mind that. I don't mind that too much because Diana obviously likes to travel from what we've seen in both of these films so far.
Yeah.
So I don't mind it too much.
No, and I suppose like it doesn't really have much consequence in the film overall because like once again, what purpose does this scene serve besides Wonder Woman is awesome, guys, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in the grand scheme of things, much like Blocks and Streets, it's a nitpick, but still criticism. You know, it's like the difference between you cutting yourself while chopping onions and a bullet wound. In that scale, it's you cutting yourself, you know, chopping lettuce or something. That's all it is. But it's still cutting yourself, you know. But oh, we'll get to the bullet wounds in time. Believe you me, this film has plenty of them. Whoa. Now these fuckers are gonna blow themselves up, and they give themselves a minute. Okay. Now,
Yeah, sure. Because in a minute you're gonna be able to get out of there.
no, they're not planning on it anyway, so I'm fine with that.
Oh wait, yeah. So they're planning to. Yeah, I forgot about that.
But my big issue is that there's no way the time that Wonder Woman took was a minute. Time warped hardcore in this moment, and I'm like, no, that's not a minute though.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so she had 13 seconds left when she entered the room. Holy shit.
She's fast.
Yeah. Is she the Flash?
I mean, at this point... Oh, okay, so this is yet another issue I have with the power distribution of the Justice League. You've got 3 speedsters. That's too much. Like, 1 speedster is too much. Because it breaks a lot of the things that you can do in a battle. But you've got the Flash, Superman, and Wonder Woman. They're all really fast. Like, you shouldn't be having much trouble with many fights. Now, I will give this version of Diana some credit because when she's blocking bullets, it really does look as if she's moving her hand to the bullet as opposed to using the Beskar armor to actually pull the bullet to her. So I'm glad they fixed that, but that breaks just how fast Wonder Woman is and why she's not moving this fast in other battles. So either way, you're kind of fucked.
A little bit.
Oh. So in that 13 seconds, she kills half the people and tosses the bomb into the air, And I'm thinking, if this bomb was supposed to take out, in the American sense, 4 city blocks, that is a huge area of space.
Yeah.
That explosion was too small. Especially if it's supposed to decimate 4 square blocks. Oh, and then Bruce Bolton just saying, oh, and now lambs to the slaughter, or sheep to the slaughter, or whatever it is, trying to sound cool before he shoots anyone. And I'm like, motherfucker, you've lost. Just start spraying people. And he chooses to go single fire. And I'm like, why? Spray the fuckers. And the reason why is because Wonder Woman needed time to come and save people. And so this is because I've watched way too many videos on how guns work, and here's me thinking at this moment, yes, okay, I'm sending you guys the picture, by the way, don't worry.
Okay.
Yes, Diana has stopped the bullet using her nebulous Beskar armor, and I'm like, okay, cool. But you know what happens to most bullets when it hits metal? It
Bounces
breaks.
off. Oh, okay.
It shatters.
Oh, wait,
and
I'm
it
bouncing off.
goes into tiny little chunks, all traveling at the same speed, and it ends up being like a shotgun spray. So yes, she blocked the bullet, but probably end up hurting many people instead.
Yeah.
So I really wish I had watched all those videos on how bullets work. Because it would help my immersion. Oh,
I think for me it doesn't bother me that much. Like suspension of disbelief. So for me it doesn't really bother me all that much. But I get what you mean.
Yeah, like again, in the grand scheme of things, this is like a cut on the finger, but these little things stand out, and I guess it's like, oh, you need to have like specialized knowledge to have that kind of information, and it's like, yeah, true, but imagine like if they did get those details right, how much more immersive the film would be. Like that's my big argument here. Like they're little details, but you'd have an appreciation for them if it was, there. That's kind of my argument. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's inconsequential. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So, she moves very fast to save the kids. Because you gotta save the children. Now, here's the thing, right? The last guy, final boss, and this is the time when Diana decides to do the fuck off move.
And decimates the entire building.
Oh, fucking hell. Like, just hand him over to the police or something. Like, no, instead, she just killed the fucker. Yep. Oh. I will give this scene something though. Like earlier on, there was this really cool move where she punched a guy and he was going towards the hostages, and then she just kind of, like, I think she does like a left hook, and she just throws the body across the room in the opposite direction, and he dies by hitting the wall on the complete opposite end of the room. And I thought that was a really cool move, but again, it's so superficial. Like, oh, that was a cool move, but this scene just kind of is there, so I'm just here for the ride at this point. I'm not really invested.
Yeah.
So after destroying the building, she has... Okay, so this moment where she's talking to the little girl, I thought was really cute.
It was.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh, can I be like you? And she's like, you can be anything you want, princess. And I'm like, oh, that was cute. That was cute. Kind of wish it was in a better scene, but, I guess there's one positive there.
It was cute.
Oh, now we go to PS2 graphics, Amazon again.
Yeah, the keyword being was. It was. And is no longer.
So Hippolyta arrives at the bunker where they're keeping the cube, and I think it's the same soldiers that are still there, just guarding this box. And apparently some time has passed. We just don't know how much time. And everyone's looking incredibly concerned as finally Steppenwolf comes through. And his armor, I'm not gonna lie, when it's in motion, looked pretty dope.
It does look pretty cool when it's moving.
Yes.
I like it.
Very cool looking armor. Much better than the 2017 version, I'll tell you that much.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
it's a vast improvement over the design of the theatrical Steppenwolf.
I kind of wish they didn't put out the initial still of Steppenwolf in his new armor, because I was expecting it to look really hokey after that first image dropped and we made fun of it. But seeing it in motion, I thought was really cool.
Yeah. I like how it was like flickering occasionally. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
It comes across as a bit more menacing in this version due to the design, and he actually looks fearful compared to the 2017 version. It doesn't change the I still think Steppenwolf's not a great villain, but you know,
like
better design.
There was a lot more to him this film, I'll give it that.
Yeah,
but
there was.
Ultimately he was pretty inconsequential either way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He was the what was the fucker from Thor: The Dark World?
Malekith.
Oh my god, you remember the name, jeez. But
played by the great Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah.
Not one of his finest roles, but he'll admit that too.
Like, that's what it reminded me of. He's a completely, like, their villain. Like, he's a placeholder villain, if anything. But at least...
We'll get to Darkseid, we hope.
But, yeah, at least this version had some meat on his bones.
Yeah.
In terms of character.
He just wanted to go home.
Yeah. Poor baby. Anyway, so the parademons come down and the Amazons have a bit of a fight. And I'm thinking, ooh, flying insect creatures with projectile weapons that are laser beams or bows and arrows. And I'm thinking, I'm not gonna lie, bro, I think the parademons are gonna take this fight.
Yeah.
I don't care how strong the Amazons are. The parademons are gonna win because they've got ranged weapons, they can fly, and they've got lasers. And you're fighting them with bows and arrows. It's a losing battle.
A little bit. Yeah.
But I do kind of like how he goes, I will bathe in your fear, and she goes, Amazons, show them your fear. I do like the chant. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, same here.
Like, yay. Like 300 battle cry, almost.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the scene happens. Like, that's the thing. Like, whenever we've been complimenting this film, it's always the most superficial things. Oh, that looked cool. That line was cool. That music was cool. What about the writing? Overall, kind of shit.
It looked good, but was the writing good? No.
Yeah. So they have a fight, and Queen Hippolyta, instead of just running straight down the channel, decides to run up the wall and stab a parademon. And I'm like, okay, so you did that, wasting time. And then she mourns someone who was hurt. And I'm like, okay, but Steppenwolf is to your left. He is still coming. Why aren't you moving, woman? But don't worry, she eventually starts moving. So the women break the barriers. She slides underneath, and this segment is where the CGI looked horrendous.
Yeah.
And two of the worst cases of it are in this segment. So that's one of them, where the bunker literally looks like PS2 graphics.
Yeah.
And yeah, so all of those Amazons who've been training their entire lives were completely outgunned in seconds in that fight, and I'm like, Amazons, yeah, I want to believe you're cool, I want to believe you're great, but I haven't seen you be great yet. Can we please have a moment of you being great? That's all I'm asking. Just a moment.
That would be nice.
So, after that, the entire bunker sinks deep into the ocean.
In slow motion.
Yeah. I mean,
But I will allow it because
it's a pretty large structure, so...
That's fine. This is an instance where I genuinely don't have an issue with the slow motion.
Yeah, same here.
It still goes on my slow motion tally, though. It adds to the 14 that I've noticed while watching this film.
Of course.
And I'm not finished yet, so...
Oh,
you're only on chapter 3.
Yeah,
There's
so
much
I
more to
got
come.
way more.
I'm expecting that number to quadruple.
Yes.
If it was a drinking game,
I'd be
you'd
dead.
be wasted.
Oh,
Die.
it's like a Twilight drinking game all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting to the point where she hands off the box to one of her minions and they ride off into the sunset, while Queen Hippolyta is looking over the edge. And this Amazon's face, like, when I was watching with my parents, and my dad was like, so this Amazon right here with the horses, that's pretty much my face, and I really want to get the hell out of here. So Queenie, can we please just hurry it up so we can fuck off, because I'm scared. And I'm on her boat, because she just wants to be anywhere but there right now, just in case Steppenwolf comes back. Oi. But you know what? Shockingly, Steppenwolf does come back. Oh, he wasn't killed.
No.
So one,
Shocking.
even though, so this is the next instance of really bad CGI, or at least the most noticeable instance of bad CGI in this film, and that is when Queen Hippolyta is running away running with the horses. That was really bad. It looked so jank.
Yeah. I do.
So, okay, now even though what this scene is supported by is not all that great, I must admit I do like the fight between Steppenwolf and the Amazons on horseback.
That is very cool.
It's pretty cool. I was just like, you guys know arrows aren't gonna work on him now, though, so please just stop wasting your arrows and just, I don't know, run away from him. You know he can't be beaten. Go back and strategize or something.
Isn't there a moment where he's shot by so many arrows that they're all just kind of sticking into him, and then he just kind of
flexes like a Chad?
Yeah, he just flexes and they all just pop out.
Yeah, it's just like, well, now I'm pissed.
Yeah. And it's like,
you just made him mad. You didn't do anything.
Like, at this point in the DC universe, the Amazons have gotten an A star for effort, but an F for execution.
Yes. She's like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, I literally fell on that frame, so I played it for everyone to see as well. Just Steppenwolf flexing like an absolute bad man. But, so, okay. So, the next Amazonian who's closest to the mother box throws her bow far ahead, jumps off of the horse, and proceeds to shoot lassos the mother box, tosses it away, and then shoots the arrow at the
Yeah.
away so that the mother box can fly away. So this brings up an issue. How heavy is the mother box if that's all it takes for it to be lifted up into the air?
Yeah, like, is it just like as heavy as a normal box then? If it was like a
Yeah.
cardboard box and
Is it
empty?
like an empty Amazon box?
I see what you did there.
Oh my god, I didn't even clock onto that.
I thought that was accidental.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my, but yeah, it's like there's a certain weightlessness to these boxes that are just really weird in this film.
Not heavy, so it's kind of jarring to see it just pulled by a rope.
Yeah, and seeing everyone else carry it,
It's
it
under
looks
their arm,
heavy.
like it's nothing, and it's like it looks like that should be weighing you down.
I
Yeah.
don't know why, but do you know when you said that the box was being carried by rope? I don't know why, but for some reason in my mind, I just saw. Do you know the jail? No, not jail. The safe. The safe in Fast Five.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what came into my head.
Oh, that scene was that was something. I remember seeing that in the cinema.
You know, the making of that scene is really fascinating.
Yeah,
I bet it is.
I think I watched the making of it.
The weightlessness
there's
of
a
it.
really good. There's a really cool shot that they're doing in the next Fast and Furious movie where a car goes through a building, and they did all that practically as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a shocking amount of practical effects in the Fast and the Furious films, and you're like, really? That was
You're like,
practical?
"Dang."
All right. It's a welcome surprise, I'll give it that.
Mhm.
So, Steppenwolf catches up and kills the momentum of the, running away part and, gets the box and is talking his sweet nothings to Queen Hippolyta while she shoots a singular arrow at him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that arrows do nothing against him, but why not keep shooting him to distract him so that he stays there so that the rest of your girls can come and fight him? Do something.
Yeah.
I know
Just
you
the
hope.
one single arrow. It was just kind of like, what are you doing? Just keep shooting him.
Kind of gave up there, Queenie.
Yeah, she shot them once and went, oh shit, yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh.
It didn't work. It did not work. Never mind.
Didn't even try to distract him. Just stayed quiet and let him speak and run away. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Hippolyta, you're supposed to be awesome. Why aren't
Like
you?
It's like the bit in Helsing Abridged where he's like, play this song, and he plays the wrong song, so he's like, never mind, it didn't work.
Oh my god. One part of Helsing Ultimate I keep thinking about is, I think in part 4 or something, when Alucard is in a bar having a drink, and then Alexander Anderson comes along and says, let's fight, and he's like, not right now, I really want to drink, and he gets down and like, alright, never mind, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Oh, watch Helsing Ultimate, it's good.
It is very good.
And the Abridged, that's also good.
The Abridged makes me laugh so much.
Oh, a real fucking vampire. So after he fucks off, then the Amazons come. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like the Mulan coming over the hill shot, but I'm like, oh, it's a shame that it's for nothing.
Yeah,
And
it's just kind of there.
Maybe if you had your fucking dungeon closer to your city, you might have backup sooner.
Yeah,
Just saying.
It would cut out a bit of a journey.
Because now, the second in command had to go all the way there, all the way back, and all the way back again, and I'm like that could have just been like 2 journeys if you were closer. Just saying, fucking hell. But then the horse rider dies because
Horse.
horse crushed her. Okay.
What a way to die.
Yeah, it's the King Theoden way of dying, with all the horses surrounding them and everything as well. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you didn't earn this film. Then they're like, oh, we need to fire the arrow so that they know the war is here. They're like, oh, but no one's gonna know what that fucking thing means. And like, she will know. And that's where we end chapter 1. And that's it. That is chapter 1.
Then, isn't it?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 is not very long. It's only 30 minutes.
Chapter 2 is only 30 minutes too.
Yep.
Right, so now comes Judgment Call. We're at 9 o'clock. Do we want to risk chapter 2 as well? I think chapter 2 is shorter than chapter 1.
Possibly. I don't mind. What do you want to do, David?
I don't mind. I think we can do it.
Yeah. Can we call it
Alright.
Can we call it at 11? Because I really need to sleep.
Yeah, absolutely. We shall call it at 11. Let me just double check the time of the whatchamacallit. And part 2.
Pretty sure we'll get through it in 2 hours.
Part 2 is 31 minutes, and what we just went through was 37 minutes.
Nice.
Cool. So what I'll do is I will fix everything so that it is appropriately sized, and then I will go to the loo very quickly because I'm time for a piss. So talk amongst yourselves till I come back.
I actually
Bye-bye.
need the bathroom too, so I'll be just a minute.
Oh, I'll
I
let
might as
David
well
go
keep-
first.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Bathroom, break in the...
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say then. I just trailed off because I was like, no, I forgot how a word worked.
Oh no. It'll be alright. Now, let's see if I can get the orientation of this right. Just so that we're in good serving. Can always edit it when we start talking about it. So, chapter 1 is done.
Chapter 1.
See, when the slow motion is there, I'm kind of glad because we just kind of breeze through the film because nothing's happening.
Yeah.
It's when the actual story comes up and I'm like, oh shit, we gotta talk now.
Yeah. Oh, the rest of it is just... Oh. Some scenes really are. It's just like, if you took this scene out, I wouldn't have an issue. Or if you
Genuinely.
slightly changed it, like if you just had it in normal speed, it would be fine.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Like, there are just some really weird, like, shot and, like, speed choices. So it's just like, what's going on?
Wait, but do you know what? If we do chapter 2 today and manage to get through it in a decent amount of time, then we could just do chapter 3 and 4 on the following weeks, which is good because then
Yeah.
we won't be rushed because those chapters are slightly longer.
Yeah.
Then gathering the league for the epilogue episodes, so hopefully they'll all be able to make it.
That would be fun. Oh,
my
sorry,
God.
I'm sleepy.
Literally, I just got a message from Alyssa and she just said, so I watched the Snyder Cut this weekend, not enough butts. And yes, I wholeheartedly agree. Not nearly enough.
Yeah.
So then, what are your thoughts so far, considering we just finished chapter 1?
Second.
What?
I was yawning, so I just said 1 second.
Are you gonna be okay? Because
Yeah.
generally we could just stop. It's fine.
No, I'll be okay. I had a big yawn as I was trying to talk. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was enjoying it when I watched it. Just when the slow motion and stuff happened, I was like, now I am not immersed, and I'm sad.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You know, it's weird because like I really like slow motion, so I was all for it. But even I was like, can we get on with it? Nothing's happened, and it's half an hour, and it's like 15 minutes, please. Because like I
Yeah.
love 300 and all of the slow motion in that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big slow mo guy. um, but yeah, you know what I wish Zack would do one day? A sequel to Legend of the Guardians. I really liked that owl cartoon he did.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I really like Sucker Punch as well.
Oh, do you know what I found out the other day?
Mm.
Apparently, there's a quote unquote Snyder cut that we've never seen before that he has of Sucker Punch as well.
Ooh, I want to see it.
And I'm like, holy shit. Like, has, until now, has this guy ever put out a film that's his true creative vision? Because I feel like everything's just been hacked to pieces before it's been out. And I really feel sorry
Yeah,
for him sometimes.
me too. But like this film did not need to be 4 hours long.
No. Like, I think even Zach was saying, like, yeah, like, originally this was supposed to be like 2.5, 3 hours long, because in the editing process you do take stuff out. But because so many people were wanting it and they want to see the full thing, and because he's not going to be able to come back and finish this story he's doing, it's like, all right, here you go, here's
Yeah.
all of it, have at it, kind of thing. So I reckon if this was going to be like a proper theatrical film, he would have cut it down to like 3 hours and it'd be much tighter. But as it is, it's so indulgent.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, well, at least we got it. That's something.
Yeah, this is true. Pretty awesome that we got to see it.
Absolutely. Like what happened, I do not wish for any director, even one I hate. Like, say what you will about Michael Bay. I hope this doesn't happen to Michael Bay. Like, even
Oh,
him.
I don't know.
Oh, oh well. But yeah. Oh my god. Like, I haven't seen a Michael Bay film in a long time now that I think about it.
No, me neither. Did he make Pacific Rim?
No, that was Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
So yeah, you wouldn't picture Del Toro doing a film like that, but yeah.
No, but yeah. Yeah, I think the last Michael Bay film I saw was probably Transformers.
Yeah. Oh god. Transformers is a funny film,
It is.
and not in the
I
good
just, I
ways.
just, I just feel sorry for oh, I've forgotten her name.
Everyone in that film.
Specifically, is it? I can't remember her name. Jessica Fox. Jessica Fox.
Oh, Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. That's it. Yeah, I just feel really sorry for her because like everyone hated on her because of that film. It's like
She got a lot of hate from all round.
it's like Michael Bay's the one that framed it in a sexual way. Why are you not going after him considering she was quite young when the film came out? But no, you're going after her. It's like, what the fudge?
You know what's a?
Hello.
Oh, hello
Hello.
there. I'll
Sorry
just
about that.
no, it's fine. I'll go to the loo after I say this last thing. A film of Megan Fox's that I think is kind of underrated is this little horror film she did between Transformers films called Jessica's Body. Oh,
Jennifer's
Oh,
Body.
Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body is amazing, and everyone should watch it.
I really like that film.
It's
I haven't
so damn
seen
good.
it yet, but I've been meaning to.
It's so good and it's so underrated, and I feel like it suffered very much from the marketing
Yeah,
when it was coming
absolutely.
out.
It was a very different film from the marketing.
Yeah,
I've heard
it
that
was
as
so
well.
good. Like
Adam
it was,
Brody's in it.
yeah, he was.
Yo!
Alright, so I'll go to the loo real quick and come back.
Yeah.
Grown up Freddy from Shazam.
Yeah. Amanda Seyfried's in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's a really cool film about like how some friendships between girls can be like toxic. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of part of the horror, which I think is really cool, and it's just so good. You should watch it.
Sounds really cool. I'll have to give it a watch.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it written by is it Diablo Cody who wrote
Yeah.
Jennifer's Body?
Yep, yep.
She's a good writer.
She is.
How are you?
I'm good. I think we should talk about Jennifer's Body sometime.
I'd be up for that.
Because I haven't
Uh,
watched
do-
it in a long time.
Nice. It definitely sounds as though it's worth the rewatch from the way that you're describing it.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it so much when I watched it.
Do you know if it's on Netflix or Amazon
Uh,
Prime or
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna have a look.
awesome?
But like lots of people are giving it lots of love like now, which I think is really cool.
That's really good because it shows how something that might not have been appreciated or well looked upon at one point can then go on to be a hit.
Yeah, definitely. Jennifer's Body. My god, it came out in 2009. I'm old.
I was 11.
I was finishing secondary school. I was 15 when this came out.
I was starting secondary
That's
school.
that's mental. Oh,
Fucker on the road.
yeah.
Oh, righto then. Part 2. The Age of Heroes.
Woo. Dang, it's not on Netflix.
Damn, that's a shame.
That's
Ooh.
a shame.
What's
Dude,
not on Netflix?
Trying to find Jennifer's Body where where David could potentially watch it. Oh, it's on Disney Plus.
Really?
Because of course
Okay.
it is.
Mate, oh yeah, it must be on Disney Star.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
makes
Then
sense.
you can watch it on Disney Plus. It's sorted.
Yes, the family-friendly film Jennifer's Body is on Disney Plus. Fucking hell.
Grey's Anatomy is on Disney Plus too.
It is.
Good God.
So is Scrubs, and My Name is Earl is on there now too.
My Name is Earl was banging.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
it's funny.
You're
I have
Is
Jason,
it a show or a movie?
it's a show.
It's a show.
Mm.
it's
Jason
got-
Lee is the lead.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to know where I first saw him in a movie?
Is it Alvin and the
Alvin and
Chipmunks?
Chipmunks.
Yeah.
It was Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
I'd heard his voice before because of The Incredibles, but yeah,
Him as a
first
person,
time
yeah.
Yeah, he's very
first
different to
first
Alvin and the
first time I saw him was Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah,
Yeah. It's very different in My Name is Earl, but it's fun.
Thank God I saw him in My Name is Earl first.
Yeah. There were some jokes in it that have not aged well, but I find that with Scrubs as well, because obviously it's the 2000s. So
Yeah, it's sign of the
like,
times.
some of the jokes are just like, oh no, no,
Cringe. No.
so much cringe.
But yeah,
But
like
I think they still hold up as shows, like ultimately.
yeah. But it's like Jason Lee, the earlier his works get, the better he is. Because like the 90s Kevin Smith stuff, because he was in Chasing Amy and Mallrats, and those were fantastic with Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking Justice League. So, The Age of Heroes. We start with Steppenwolf going to Chernobyl because he likes sucking up the radiation from the nuclear reactors so that he can feed his parademons. Well, hey, much better reason than the original theatrical cut, I'll give it that.
what was the reason in the original theatrical cut? I can't remember.
Reasons.
Oh, just reasons. Okay,
Just
fair enough.
I think it was off the grid was their reasoning, and I was like, sure, tell yourself that.
Okay then.
At least this tries to give a reason. Not a
Yeah.
good one, but it tries. But so yeah, the parademons and Steppenwolf is absorbing all the nuclear radiation from the environment so that, feeding off of it to become stronger.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne is in his plane, shaving, and Alfred is being sassy. Which is great.
Sassy Alfred.
Gotta love a sassy Alfred.
Sasha Alfred.
Sassy.
But
I have no complaints about Sassy Alfred.
No. But yeah, most of the scene is basically them talking about, oh, hey, it's like, you're 0 for 2 when it comes to recruiting these guys, because he tried with Wonder Woman. She said, nah, bro, and maybe if I hit transition, people will be able to see what we're talking about. So, yeah. Because Wonder Woman said no, and Aquaman said the fucking dumb line of, oh, strong man, strongest alone shit going on. So the next thing he's got to do is really look for Barry.
Yeah. Mr. Flash himself.
Yeah. And then we move on to Silas Stone, or as we know him as Joe Morton, or as we know him as the father of
T2.
Skynet.
Which is really ironic.
I know,
He is
right?
not Silas Stone.
This guy really needs to stop trying to bring AI to life because it never ends well for him.
Yeah.
Now
You
he's
would have think he'd learned his lesson by now.
At least Cyborg's a good guy.
yeah. At least
That is
that's one consolation.
terrifying. That's terrifying, the idea that what if he was a bad guy, he could literally destroy the world.
I know, right? Because in the context of a technological world, Cyborg is far stronger than Superman because he could launch nukes with a thought, while Superman would take a lot longer to destroy the world.
That's frightening. And also very potentially interesting.
I do really like how Cyborg has been elevated over the years. Like, from my understanding, he was always like a member of the Teen Titans, and now he's become this bigger and much more important character over time, and I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. He was originally in the Teen Titans, but then I'm pretty sure it was the New 52 run where they were like, look, it's Cyborg, he's the most potentially powerful being right now because of technology, we gotta have him in the Justice League. So New 52 didn't do much right, but putting him in the Justice League was probably one of the few things they did get right.
Absolutely. Like, it makes so much sense as well because he would be one of the most powerful beings.
Yeah, genuinely. So yeah, and I really like what they tried to do with Cyborg in this film. I will give it that.
Same here.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know what? I feel sorry for janitors in superhero films.
Me too.
Because this guy who's mopping up the Kryptonian ship is doing nothing wrong. He's just cleaning. And what does he get for his troubles? He gets taken by a fucking worker bee. And it's like, oh, well, that sucks, you know? Why is it that all janitors and construction workers get fucked up in the end in superhero films, you know?
The parademon shows up to Steppenwolf with the janitor, and he's like, that's not a the mother box.
Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Like, that is a very oddly shaped box, demon. Now back to your cave. Like, oh my. But yeah, it kind of sets up that the parademons are drawn to the areas where the mother box has been located. So I'm all right with that because it's like, oh, it's kind of like an artificial ticking bomb where they're getting closer and closer to the mother box. So it creates a sense of urgency. I like what they were trying to do with that. Doesn't much work in the end, but I like what they tried to do.
They tried at least.
They tried. It's not like J.J. Abrams where it's like, we got 16 hours to save the universe, boys. Let's go. Millennium Falcon, go! But it blew up. Literally. It's like, nah, just It's super glue. It'll be fine. Like, oh, okay. Oh, Rise of Skywalker's a ride. Oh,
The Death Star blew up, but we've got a knife from it.
Yeah.
fucking hell. You know what
I
really...
could do lightning powers now.
As much as we've got a lot of entertainment from talking about the Zack Snyder Superman story, J.J. Abrams is in charge of the next one. And I'm dreading it. I'm genuinely so fucking terrified for the next Superman film produced by J.J.
I suppose the potential good side of it is that he's only producing it.
Oh, but see, the writer they got is fucking racist as hell.
Oh.
No joke, Ta-Nehisi Coates, he actually said that the first responders to 9/11 were terrorists.
Oh god.
And I'm like, this is the guy you're getting to write Superman? Really?
Oh no.
This like J.J. Abrams producing, this guy writing. Fucking hell, just may as well give it to Michael Bay to fuck it up now. Jesus.
Well,
That's
no idea
disappointing.
about that.
I did not know about that either. So like, that's not good.
Yeah, like this guy is really heavy into racial politics. And
What's his
he's
name so I can avoid anything he ever writes?
like Ta-Nehisi Coates, he is so anti-white. Like, it's scary how anti-white he is. It's scary. Now, I make racist jokes, but this fucker actually calls them fucking all sorts of stuff. I'm like, no. This is the guy writing Superman now? Really? Can we have Zack Snyder back? Oh. On a more positive note, we're back in Amazon. Just kind of killed the mood with that knowledge.
My favorite.
But now I get it. Magic. I understand magic exists in this world, but I still don't understand the mechanics of this bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Like, because, like, this... Okay, so projectiles work because it's mostly based on the thing that is projecting the projectile. So they're blessing the arrow, fair enough, but the bow is, like, how? Like, I don't there's... I don't understand. I try to, but I don't. Like, is it magic? Or is
Can
it...
only assume so.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only explanation, but if it's able to travel so far, then what... I mean, I'm actually at a loss for trying to describe how this works.
Magic.
Flash.
It's the Flash. The absolute fucker.
Flash helping the Amazonians when he doesn't even know it.
Yep.
You know what I love about the spell that Hippolyta puts on the arrow is like, oh, burn eternally as you were meant to, and then it burns out later on, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Burn eternally, and then it's just kind of like, nah, screw that, I'm tired.
It's like, nah, bro, like, I have to do it on my own, screw you.
But I'm sleepy.
Yeah, like, this arrow just travels all the way across the fucking world. Well, not all the way across the world, but across oceans. And gets... Oh, is it even an ocean? The Mediterranean, so Mediterranean, Greece. So, okay, so comparatively, it's still a long fucking distance is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. It travels a long way.
And I'm assuming this is the next day, because Diana is back in France now, considering she was in London the previous day, and I'm like, what? Okay. Why couldn't we start one... Oh, go on.
No, it's alright.
I was just going to say, why couldn't we start Wonder Woman's story here?
Yeah, why did we need the London scene? Why was she... I'm confused. Like, I thought that the terrorist group was gonna go somewhere, like they were gonna, I don't know. They were also gonna be a problem as well as, you know, Steppenwolf. But they just aren't.
Yeah,
they're dealt with.
they
So I was
exist.
like,
That's all.
why? Why is this here? Like, are you trying to show us basically, oh look, Wonder Woman's doing something to save people? And it's like, yeah, but why?
I mean,
An introduction.
Why is this here?
why in the
I
context
mean,
of the
it's an
film exactly?
introduction. But yeah, why are you introducing us to her that? Why? You know, you could just introduce us to her literally now when there's a reason for her, you know, like.
Okay, so one of you brought up The Incredibles earlier, didn't you? So
Mhm.
let's look at The Incredibles. We open with Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl in their prime, and you might be thinking, "Oh,
Yeah.
why is this there?" Okay, two reasons. That's the day they're getting married, and two,
Yeah.
that night has the catalyst that impacts the rest of the superhero world in the context of that film
Yep.
and what
Very
happens in the rest of it, is I love what the guy says in the press conference as well. It's like, you didn't save my life, you ruined my death. I'm
Ruined
like,
my
holy
death.
shit.
Yeah.
But it's like,
It's like, this isn't a kid's movie.
I know. Remember when they were good ones?
Oh, yeah.
But that's the thing.
There was a
Like,
good one 3 years ago. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
oh shit, yeah.
Best.
Very good
animated
film.
movie
Highly
ever.
recommend Into the Spider-Verse. Probably,
Love it.
I'd be willing.
Everybody watch it.
I'd be willing to put money on putting it as the best superhero film made to date.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with that.
Um,
I don't know anyone that doesn't like it.
oh
So
yeah,
good.
like even my dad was like, when we watched it together, he's like, when I listed other things that Lord and Miller has done, he was like, oh, I've never been really fans of them. But in this film, he was like, yeah, I really like this film. They did good in this one. So
Mhm.
like even people who are not into Lord and Miller like Into the Spider-Verse, so that should tell you something.
Yep.
But yeah, that
Just me. Makes me happy.
yeah.
It's funny. People going about the just big ambitious projects.
Oh, David, you're
Spider big
breaking up.
ambitious project.
It broke
David,
up a little bit.
you broke up in that sentence. Can you say that again?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. You just broke up a little bit.
Yeah,
so
you were
we
just
missed
breaking
some
up
of it.
while you're saying it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, people go on about Justice League and Avengers being big, ambitious projects, but could, like, 6 different Spider people in one movie,
Yep.
quite ambitious as well.
Definitely.
And it paid off big.
It really did.
Oh yeah.
I wanted the new Spider-Man movie to have all the Spider-Mans in it because I was like, that would have been funny. You know, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland. That would be really funny.
I would be okay with that, but
I'd watch it. but
much
it's
like
not gonna
Into the
happen.
Spider-Verse, I would want the writing to really carry the
Yeah.
film as well. Because if the writing's not there, it would just be a gimmick. And I really
Yeah,
don't
it would
want that
just
to be
be,
the case.
look, all the Spider-Mans are together. Yeah.
But yeah, back to the original point of The Incredibles. What
Sorry.
may look like an inconsequential segment of the film is really what sets up the villain, the world, the conflict, and the relationship status of everyone. So it set up a lot, even though it was disconnected from the main narrative that we get onto. Whereas here, it exists.
Yeah, it doesn't set up anything. Like, you can take that scene out, it doesn't change anything. It just introduces you to Wonder Woman, which you could literally have done by having them shoot the arrow, because, like, literally the end of the chapter is, she'll know. So, like,
Yeah.
that could have been her introduction, because it's
True.
like, we know who they mean, because there's only one
Yeah.
Amazonian lady who's not here. So it's like, obviously we know who they're talking about, so they could have just been like, boom, cut to Wonder Woman.
Yeah, so right after the Arrow, Chapter 2, Wonder Woman in the Museum. So that would be a great way of linking we absolutely. So for anyone who hasn't seen the previous films would know because of the visual connection. So yeah, that is a great point. And plus we get to see her in a very casual light as well. You know, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
how is she interacting with others? What's she doing? What are her hobbies? What's her profession? You know, it's like there are a lot of things being done in this scene, and it would have really behooved them to have this be the introduction to Wonder Woman, especially considering the fact in the previous film she just walked away from Bruce's offer. So here we start with her, you know, doing her job as opposed to being Wonder Woman.
Yep.
True.
I would have been for that.
Consistency.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, we say we want consistency. We're 5 films in our journey, and we're yet to have it. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think DC just don't know what consistency means. They just don't.
But yeah, Diana notices this on the TV because when one of the Panthenons, or is that what they're called in Athens? Fuck, it begins with a P.
Pantheons.
Pantheons.
Yeah, when one of them are on fire, it's going to be on the news. So it makes sense that she'd find out as a result of that. So I'm okay with her finding out in this way.
Yeah.
Next, I'm sorry.
Just same. Same.
Agreeing.
Cool. So next, we got Silas Stone in the lab talking to FBI dudes who's wondering what's in the box. And he goes, I don't know what's in the box. And it's like, how do you not know what's in the box? Because that's what my job is, to find out what's in the box. Because even Brad Pitt's still wondering what's in the box.
Yeah.
So the way they lead up to the exposition was so jank, because they're explaining, oh, we're here to figure out what the alien technology is doing and stuff like that, but what's in the box? I don't know what's in the box. Like, it was so clunky in the way the exposition was handled. How did you guys see it?
Yeah, it seemed quite clunky.
What about you, David?
I said that I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Agreement.
Cool.
Nothing to add, really.
Yay.
Cool thing though, like a little side thing. Ryan Choi, the Atom,
Yes.
is in this scene.
This is true. He's in quite a bit of the film when it comes to Silas Stone's story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a really cool detail that they had Ryan in there.
Absolutely. And now Brandon Routh has competition.
True. Now he's like, wait, they've got Superman? Wait. They've got another version of the Atom?
Oh my god. Okay, so after the parademons attack the base and they're talking about, oh my god, it's like, yeah, this wing thing came down. And I love how dramatically the guy in the hazmat suit came up to the window and smashed the paper up against it so that he understood this is what was there. And like that.
So dramatic, just like boom.
And it's like, oh, so a 9-year-old drawing. Okay.
Yeah, like, wait, that looks like somebody trying to draw Batman and not doing a very good job.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking as well.
I was like, are they gonna confuse and I was like, oh, are they gonna think it was Batman?
Is Batman gonna be on the run?
Yeah,
again?
that's what I was like. I was like, oh my god, do they think it's Batman? And it just never. No, I was like, oh, that's a bit.
And
You had my interest, and I was like, that's a bit crap now. Like, slamming the paper is not very.
Like, how interesting would it have been if Batman has to get the Justice League together while evading the police because they think he's kidnapping people?
Yeah, that's what I
think that would have been pretty cool.
That's kind of what I thought was gonna happen. I was like, oh, cool, and then it just didn't happen. I was just like, oh, well, now I'm disappointed.
Like, this is a part of my Ilona Holmes Part 4 video, and that's like, oh, there's a certain part when she meets One Direction again in the flower market and we see her wanted post on the wall, and I go off on a diatribe about talking about what if she entered London and she found out that she's already wanted because the Holmes brothers have already, spread the word. So what if she has to look for her mother and evade the police at the same time? That way we get to see her intelligence, her cunning, her resourcefulness, and all of that. And I was like, but no. Oh, so there you've got a brief look into my Enola Holmes Part 4 video. It's coming.
I'm excited.
Oh, it's like the Zack Snyder Justice League. It takes time.
It do.
Oh my god. But yeah, after that big dramatic reveal, what could oh my god, that is actually really fucking wholesome. So I am going to
yeah.
save that
Yeah.
on the downloads.
It would have been nice to have actually
Yeah.
had Henry Cavill Shazam,
Yeah,
just for that
that would
little
have been
cameo.
cool. That would have been cool. We only get to see his legs, don't we, or something?
His torso
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, we don't see his head, and it's a shame. That would have been funny.
So, yeah, unfortunate as it is, this is what could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shazam and the Cavill together. But alas, that is not the case. Now then, back to this film. So Silas comes home, and Victor is not too happy. And that is Victor's position throughout a majority of this film. He is just
He's
not happy.
a happy bunny.
He is what we call not a happy camper. So he's kind of annoyed about the fact that he lived and his mother did not, and his father saved his life. I'm like, okay. Now your father did save your life. That deserves some amount of credit, let's be honest. So I feel like a lot of the anger directed towards Silas in this moment is, and throughout a lot of Cyborg's story, is very unwarranted in many ways, because Silas is really trying hard.
Yeah.
And Cyborg is really holding him to a standard of, oh, if you were there, like, it's almost like survivor's guilt more than him actually blaming his father. And I'm like, okay, so directing it, I get it. I get it. And I think Cyborg's story is really what works best out of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and I think maybe it's just his grief is he wants someone to blame, so he's blaming his dad.
Yeah.
And he's already kind of angry at him for not turning up, so that's kind of fueling it, I feel.
It's kind of like guilt through association of action.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, oh, you didn't show up, so it's your fault, everything happened. Like, if you'd have shown up, it wouldn't have happened, kind of thing. It's his belief.
Yeah.
Which is completely illogical, and it kind of makes sense, because obviously he's clearly not dealt with the grief properly, and is basically using his dad to take out all his anger on.
Yeah, and I guess I'm alright with him being a little grumpy boy when in this stage of his life. But what I really like is the fact that this comes on later on in the film. We'll get to that, but when he's actually exercising his abilities, you do get to see him smile, and I'm glad that he is smiling, because if he was frowning all the way through, I would have been like, oh, for fuck's sake, Cyborg, I'd love to have your powers.
Yeah. It's cool. You have cool powers, okay?
Yeah.
Smile.
Like, better you than me, because if I had those powers, we'd all be dead by now.
Probably.
I love that you're not even disagreeing with me. It's like, yeah, we'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I am the villain of what we watch. Oh. So after that conversation where he's blaming his dad for everything that happened up until that point in his life, Diana is in Greece the next day. So, okay. Maybe she still has that invisible jet.
Yeah, maybe.
So She finds the arrow, reads the message, goes underground, uses the magnetic arrow, and finds the hidden chamber that has all the information that she needs to have context.
Yeah. Can I just say, you know how she did the massive like superhero landing in heels? I was like, no, I'm sorry, those heels are dead. Those heels are
Me
I was
too. I
gonna
was
say
thinking the
they
same
would've
thing.
Just no.
wouldn't they?
I was like, either those are heavily reinforced heels, or your ankles are broken, or
Yep.
your heels are broken, or both.
Yep.
Like,
That's all I kept thinking was, oh my god, that would have immediately snapped something.
Specially
Absolutely.
made.
it's
Yeah.
like the Jurassic World heels.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. It's like, can outrun a T-Rex, bro.
Oh god, yeah.
Uh,
I haven't even seen the film, but I've heard about that
Ah, the memes are amazing.
bit. The memes are real.
Do you want to know what's funny? I actually started watching this animated series on Netflix called Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Mikey's
right.
been watching that.
It's a lot more fun than the movies.
I mean, that's not saying much, so...
I know, but it's better than the movies.
I mean, that's like saying, oh, do you know what? Fucking... Yeah, do you know what? I did get shot, but at least it wasn't twice. It's like, oh, okay. I guess that is better. But... Oh. But at least it's better.
I think they're going into a third season as well. So
Holy
they're
shit, it's been
rolling
going
them
for that
right
long?
now.
Oh, wow.
Only since last year.
Jeez.
I think the first season came out in like September, and then the second came out in January maybe, and then the third comes out in I think April or May.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're rolling them right out.
Fair enough. So yeah, Diana finds all the history lessons that she needs, and we get the first picture of Darkseid here. Dun dun dun. That's just kind of me trying to be the fanny pack from Crudes. If you've seen Crudes, you know what I'm talking about.
I do like the cave paintings that Diana finds.
So do I.
that's
They
really
are
cool.
really aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
really
nice to look at.
builds up the myth of Darkseid.
Definitely.
It's just a shame the film fucks it up.
A little bit. And I haven't even seen it yet.
Oh,
But I'm getting vibes.
oh. It's like, oh. Yeah, it's like they do certain things with history and what he's doing now, and I'm like, oh, really? That's the big villain of the DC universe?
Oh no.
Like, Darkseid is a really cool character, don't get me wrong, I love him. But this film, it does a certain thing related to his memory, and I'm like, oh, really though?
I know what you're talking about.
I know you do. But I was just laughing.
I thought the same thing. There's a line of dialogue in the film where I was like,
Really?
wait, hang on a minute. Really? Are you sure?
Like,
Oh, I'm interested to see what this is.
I think it comes up like chapter 4 or something, so you're not too far away from it.
Yeah,
But when it
something
happens,
like that.
you'll know. It involves Darkseid,
fun.
but that's all I'll tell you.
Oh, fun time.
It's like, how? How did you not remember?
Yeah. Darkseid and memory, that's all you need to know. But, yeah. Next, we got Aquaman being a grumpy little boy, saving a man in the middle of a storm.
Oh yeah, and then basically being grumpy and being like, "Stop going out in storms.
Yeah.
I'm taking this ball. Goodbye."
Like, the way he slams the guy onto the table and drops him, I'm pretty sure he did more damage than the ship did.
Yeah,
I'm not
I was like,
gonna lie.
damn, Aquaman, Jesus. But then we get him going back to the sea in slow motion.
Oh,
Ah!
but you know what the difference is? Unlike when he came out of the ocean with the top on, this time he takes his top off.
Yep,
And we get to see Aquaman topless again.
we do, but it still didn't stop me from being annoyed by the slow motion.
Do you want to know what makes me laugh?
And the
Go on.
stupid music didn't work with it either. I was like, I would have changed it to some kind of guitar riff or something because it was him being a badass. And I was like, the music is just weird and sad and it doesn't work here.
Yeah, it's like, unhappy alcoholic music rather than epic
Yeah.
Aquaman slow-mo music.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what makes me laugh about that moment?
Do tell.
In the first trailer to Zack Snyder's Justice League, so the one that came out like 5 or 6 months ago,
Yeah.
they've got Hallelujah playing, and at the moment in the trailer where Jason Momoa takes his shirt off, it goes Hallelujah.
Oh.
Like, we finally got his top off!
Yeah.
And I will never forget that because I just found it so funny.
I mean, it is a biblical moment when Jason Momoa takes his top off, so...
Yeah.
It was so funny.
I was like, nice try for a nice attempt at distracting me, but it didn't work. I see you. I noticed the slow motion. It didn't work.
And then it kind of fades, and the music just kind of hard cuts to the normal score again, and that was kind of jarring.
It was very weird. It was just like, what is going on?
Yeah. So Aquaman fights his way through the ocean into the King's room. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, we know what happened in Aquaman, so it's fine. We know that he gets the spear, so don't worry. But now we got the Green Goblin himself underwater.
Willem
Holy
Dafoe.
Mr. Willem Dafoe.
So Willem Dafoe serves a very important purpose in this film. He is the quest giver and the person who gives the Pokeball before the adventure begins.
He's Professor Oak.
So he gives the armor and the Quindan so that he can go off on his adventure and then just fucks off for the rest of the film. But at least
Super important.
At least this film tries to explain quite a bit of the characters before the solo films, establish their character motivations and a lot of the struggles that they're going through so that they lead smoothly into their solo films.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas the original was like, here, trident, go, stab. It's like, alright then.
Alrighty then. Thank you very much.
Like, one thing I do like about this cut is that it does spend a lot of time on its characters, and I will give it that.
Absolutely.
It's not done well, but at least it tries.
A for effort.
But so yeah, they have the conversation. He gives the items and then promptly leaves. And now we come to Steppenwolf talking to Desaad, saying, "Hey, I got a mother box. You get me, bro? So how's about this?
I mean business."
I got mother box, yo.
Now I got 2 more mother boxes, see? So how's about when I take over this world? See, I come back home, see? And like, Desaad just goes, nah, 50,000 worlds, bro. It's like, aw, okay. He kind of has a pouting moment. Steppenwolf in this film, it's kind of like a lost puppy that just really wants to go home.
Like, please, I'm doing my best. Look, I have a shiny box. Please let me go home.
And then Desaad just goes, oh, but you tried to kill Darkseid, so you're kind of being punished for that, bro. It's like, aw.
The craziest thing
dang
about this whole scenario, though, is what Dylan and I were talking about before with Darkseid's memory.
Oh. Okay, right. So I'm guessing maybe Darkseid just forgot that Steppenwolf tried to kill him.
I will neither confirm nor deny anything of what you
Okay.
just said.
Okie dokie. That would be dumb.
Like, I forgot you tried to kill me, so here you go. 50,000 worlds, conquer them, you can come back home. Like,
Yeah.
what? But, now this film does do a slight amount of work in terms of trying to develop Steppenwolf as a character. Like, he has his own goal. He's not just a lackey. He has desires. So I'll give it. This film does try really hard with his characters. 2 films too late, but it tries.
I would have liked to have known Superman.
Yeah.
Like on his own terms, not other people telling me.
Yeah, it would have been nice to actually see what he's like, rather than be like, oh yeah, he's this guy, he's that guy. It's like, okay,
He is the savior of the world.
if you say so.
I mean, I'll take your word for it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I could say I'm
They
a
will join you in
unicorn,
the
it doesn't
sun.
mean I am one.
Yeah. It's like, I've heard...
He has the power to wipe out the entire human race.
Know me!
It's the same thing. Like, I've heard that Amy Schumer is allegedly funny. I'll believe it when I see it.
I am annoyed I share a
Hmm.
name.
So, after he gets rejected hardcore by Desard, he gives a... the frame I landed on. He just looks like he had his heart ripped out of his chest.
I want to see. Show me!
Give me a second, woman. Jesus.
Not a woman.
Oh. Female life form that is non-binary.
So sad.
Oh, he looks like he's about to cry.
Like, fair enough. Like, it is kind of comical, but it's trying, which is
It's
more
like,
than I can say
"Aw."
about the previous films.
Oh, poor Steppenwolf. Give him a puppy.
It's like, I think in this case he is the puppy.
Do you know the big wolf in Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah,
Yes.
I
That
like
can be
the big wolf.
Steppenwolf's.
Yeah, that would cheer me up. I immediately was like, I want that. I want that as a pet.
Could you imagine trying to
threw
feed
him-
it though?
Oh god, yeah. Just be like, ah.
Like, you'd have to go to Costco's like once every day.
God, yeah. I'd just make a big giant dog treat.
Hulk threw the wolf out of Asgard, and he went through some kind of portal into another dimension.
And then
ended up here.
Steppenwolf
Right.
found him.
Yeah,
And
they
then
both came out in
Steppen-
2000. They both should have came out in 2017.
Yeah.
True.
So yeah, there we go. It's just like a little film about Steppenwolf adopting a dog. I'd watch that.
Watch
God,
that.
could you imagine Steppenwolf in a farm with Thor Ragnarok's dog?
Yeah.
Just playing fetch like in Babe.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. And then Uncle Dog, or his nephew Darkseid coming along saying hi, seeing how the family's doing. And then
Yeah.
Desard just going,
Yeah.
I want to see the Steppenwolf dog film.
Yeah, I want to make this film.
It'll stand among the triumvirate. Alpha, the Harrison Ford dog film, and Steppenwolf's dog film. Oh. So, yeah, after Steppenwolf does some begging, we go to the Wayne Enterprises building. Well, the aerospace building, rather. And Diana walks through the security with ease. So they have this cute little exchange, Bruce Wayne saying, oh, that security, was very expensive. And Diana's like, oh, it was expensive. It took me a minute to get through. And I'm like, I would have liked to have seen it. but you
Yeah.
know. Oh well.
Show me.
And I don't know how long this has been either. This could be the literal next day from Greece. So in the space of 4 days, she's been to England, France, Greece, and the US.
Because reasons.
Busy girl in terms of her airline points.
Yep.
This is the moment when she comes up to Bruce and says, "The war is here." And Bruce is like, "Where?" Like, "It's here. Trust me, it's here." And Bruce is like, "All right, I believe you when I told you this last film. So, well, hey, I'm on board." And we get the history lesson. Oh my God. David, we were talking about this, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And this is the frame I landed on.
Oh.
Oh, this bit.
Not gonna lie,
Oh.
he looks better than Wonder Woman. But that's not saying much.
I just remember seeing the shot while I was watching it for the first time, and I was like, "I look, that guy being Ares kind of looks familiar." Oh, hang on a minute! They've actually molded David Thewlis's face onto this body double.
And then, you know, of course, the guy handing him his huge fuck off battle axe is, you know, a fucking Adonis. That is Zeus.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I saw 300 too. It's fine.
I got those vibes.
Straight out.
I was like, oh, it's 300 now.
Oh, it's this battle doesn't make much sense, but god damn it, look cool.
It did look very cool.
Neither does the outcome.
Oh my god. Okay. So this is the last big segment we have to go through before we end things. So yeah, Darkseid comes down, and before Atlantis fell, the people of Atlantis comes by boat, the Amazons come by horseback, and the world of men stand.
Arrive.
No, they were just there.
They're just like, whoop, we're here.
It's like they're
Don't
the first
ask me
line
how I
of
got here,
defense.
but we're here.
It's like between the four races even, of 5, including the Lantern. So you got the Lantern, the gods, the Atlanteans, the Amazons, and the representatives of the world of men. So you've got the weakest fuckers in the front lines. So we know who's the cannon fodder in this battle. You know, weaken the enemy, and they will come out and look good.
Yep.
And why are there only 3 gods here? Because this is before the gods went to a civil war. So Ares must still hate the humans, but he's fighting alongside of them. But he's fighting Darkseid, who wants to destroy humanity, which is what Ares wants to do. But Ares wants to do it in a really long, roundabout way. So, and this is taking place 5,000 years ago. And later on in the film, they say Diana's 5,000 years. So this and the civil war between the gods take place at around the same time. So what the fuck is my question?
Valid question. I don't have an answer for you.
I don't think the filmmakers have an answer for me.
Then again, no.
Fucking hell.
Because I said so. Because the script said so.
The script said so. It's the Flash.
The Flash.
In this film, it could be the Flash.
Just the Flash.
Oh. Flash. Oh, savior of the universe. Bum, 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 bum. Much better film.
Yep.
But yes, Darkseid comes down and hits the floor, creating the anti-life equation.
Woo.
Or finds the anti-life equation at least.
Yep.
Following which, the witches come down with the mother boxes. And I'm thinking, do you really want to combine the mother boxes in the front lines while people are shooting stuff at you?
Yeah.
Why not do it in the ship and come down when it's ready? You know, like normal people?
That'd be presentable.
Like, oh. This is the equivalent of having like legionnaires in the Roman Empire holding the fucking flag, but they're literally the first person to face the enemy, and I'm like, well, that's kind of retarded. So they none of the mechanics of what Darkseid is doing here with regards to the mother boxes make any lick of sense, because you'd think he'd protect that by having it at the very rear or in the ship.
Yeah.
I guess he just wanted to show off.
Must have done.
Yeah.
Overconfident.
Yeah.
Well, he really shouldn't be, based on what we know of him later, right, David?
True.
Oh, you'll be in on it soon, Amy. Believe you me. Tomorrow, I can imagine you watching it tomorrow, and it just click, and I'm just expecting a message from you going, "Really, fucking really."
Yeah. It's kind of probably what's gonna happen. I'll be like, oh, I get it now.
Oh.
I understand that reference now.
Also, this lantern, kind of stupid. He's got all the power in the world, all of the imagination, and he goes right up to Darkseid so that he can get chopped to pieces.
Yeah. And he's like, you know
Bless
what?
him. He tried.
It's like, I'll try reasoning with him first. You know what? You're not very nice. Oh, he chopped me up.
Imagine if that was his actual internal monologue. So Darkseid is doing his Sauron moment, beating up 5 people in one go.
As you do.
Kills the lantern, gets zapped by the Zeus, and gets chopped by Ares. And I'm like, ooh, I saw Infinity War 2, and then I remembered, but this was supposed to come out 2 years before Infinity War. Huh. Maybe they would have learned a lesson by that point. This makes no sense if you do that. Or was it a year before? I can't remember anymore.
It was a year before.
Year before, gotcha. But yeah, Ares does a Thor and doesn't go for the head.
Oh, yeah.
But he does get deep enough to the point where his men take Darkseid back onto the ship, where he promptly passes out. And from that moment, everyone celebrates.
Doesn't explain things, though.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he passed out. He could still get back up and be like, yeah, bish, fight me.
Yeah, he could just recover and come back.
Yeah, he's probably just gone up to chill till he's healed, and then he can come back and still beat you up. So why are you guys celebrating?
He could literally be hovering in the upper atmosphere because no one can get up to him at this point in time. So he'll come back and just finish the job. Oh. But a victory.
And then what happens.
Yeah.
That we keep alluding to, Dylan.
Yeah. So Darkseid and his forces just leave the planet wholesale. And you're like, but why?
They're like, no, they hit me.
And the worst part is, they leave the most important 3 fucking boxes in their army here. And I'm like, but fucking why?
Yeah, they're just like, oh, we'll come back for them, it's fine.
But we won't remember where it is.
Fucking hell. It may as well be that at this point,
Like, I left my car keys somewhere.
Yeah. It's like 5,000 years later you come back to collect your fucking boxes. Really? Like, why not just pick them up and go there?
Because it's in the script.
Because it's in... It feels like so many of our podcast episodes are like, why did that happen? I don't know, because it's in the script.
Yeah.
It's the best excuse I can come up with. But everyone just looks on at a job well done. They fought hard and they earned the victory.
Job, guys.
The age of heroes.
So they split them up. One for the humans, one for the Amazons, one for the Atlanteans. And I do like how each race has their own way of concealing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Like, I don't understand why there was such a huge fucking metal bar holding what the
Yeah, that's
Amazons.
weird. Yeah, I was like, what? You just want to show a lady smacking a big hammer into something, don't you?
It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it is cool, but why is your fucking carving thing hidden so tight? Like, why?
Yeah, it was just like, that just seems impractical and unnecessary.
I think what we've established at this point is, in the context of the DC universe, the Amazons just make no sense.
They really don't.
So, they all store it, and the fucking humans, of course. The humans bury it in like fucking 3 inches of dirt.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they'll never find it.
And I'm like, really? Like, come on, guys, dig a little deeper and build a fort on top of it at least. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it. And at
That's
some
how
point,
humans deal with stuff. We just bury things under a tiny amount of soil and hope it goes away.
which is a theme in this film, they bury things in shockingly low depths.
Yeah, they bury a lot of things, and they unbury a lot of things as well.
Yeah, it's like literally the depth at which some people bury in order to hide something is so shallow that a morning dog walker can find it.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Copyright to my dad, he's the one who said it. Oh god, my mom's reaction when we were watching this is like, oh look, the Amazons are doing something. Don't know fucking why, because they're fucking pathetic. And I'm like, holy shit. Remember that? We're just watching her like, Jesus Christ, mom. Like, take it easy. They're doing their best. Like, I don't care. They're pathetic. Like, oh, okay. My mom's funny when we're watching films. Like, the verbal abuse characters get is just insane. Anywho, Diana's saying that's the history of Earth. It's like, okay, cool. And it's like the age of heroes would never come again. And Bruce says, it has to. Wonder Woman's part of the team now. Hey.
Woo.
And that is
2 of them.
now there's 2 of them.
Yay! And then there were 2.
And that is the end of chapter 2.
Ta-da!
So in
The
3
mad
hours.
thing.
Oh, go on.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say the mad thing is in like an hour of this movie has gone by, and
Not a lot.
there's not all of the members of the League have been introduced.
I know, yeah, there's 2. And there's what? In total, there's 5 of them? Or 6 if you count Superman.
Yeah.
Yep. They've been The Flash hasn't even come up yet.
Yeah,
We're
that's
an
what
hour
He
into
comes
the
in
film.
Chapter 3, doesn't he?
Yeah, chapter 3 is The Flash, yeah. Oh, genuinely though.
I get it now. It's in 6 chapters because each chapter is specifically for a person in the Justice League.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, ordinarily, I'd be going, yeah, we finished an hour's worth of film in 3 hours. Like, that'll be something worthy of celebrating. But then you realize there's 3 hours left.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, at this rate, this is going to be a 12-hour conversation.
No. Run away. We can do it.
Way.
That's my 2 modes of tackling this film. It's like, oh no, why? And then the other half of me's like, it's okay, we can do it.
Yeah.
The epilogue should finish pretty quickly.
I mean, you'd think so. But the epilogue is also 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's true.
But at least we're 2 down with 5 parts to go in total.
Yeah.
So we're making good
Unite
time.
with 7.
uh, but yeah, next week we're going to be doing part 3, and hopefully, if we have time, we'll knock out part 4 as well,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then save the next 2 weeks for part 5 and 6 respectively, and then part
Yeah.
7, hopefully, we'll have something special planned.
Yep.
Which I'm not
It's
going to
gonna
say
be
yet.
good.
But yeah, we're an hour in, and do you know what? 3 hours, not bad.
Not bad
Right.
at all.
Go good. Go
But-
as even I meant to say.
At this point, though, considering how long we've spent talking about them, I would be willing to say that at this point in time, Batman v Superman might be coming up as the more coherent film in terms of writing compared to Justice League.
That's
Because
crazy.
of the sheer amount of stuff that just makes no sense in this film already.
Oh, I never thought that was gonna
Imagine a
happen.
world where me and Amy would go, yeah, Batman v Superman is the best written of the DC films so far.
Yay.
Like,
So-
what a fucking arc.
We live in a society.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
So now I guess it's a question of which is better, this or Man of Steel? Because it's only gonna go down from here.
At the moment, I prefer Man of Steel.
Yeah, me too.
That's fair.
We'll see where it stands after next week.
Yeah, I'll see what I think of it after next week. But so far, Man of Steel is the one I prefer.
Yeah. In terms of writing, I guess Man of Steel is better because, like, this film is introducing whole new worlds
Yeah.
away with me. A whole new world. But yeah, Man of Steel only had 2 worlds, whereas this is introducing like 5. So I guess that's why
It had a
BVS is.
cameo. It had a cameo of another world. I guess
Yeah.
you could say.
It had plenty of cameos, but I guess that's the thing here, because in terms of world building, it really hurts the writing. But I guess in that sense, BVS had the least amount of world building, so I guess that's why we see less issues with it in a really weird way.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not expect BVS to be on top, I'll be honest.
No, me neither. It's quite. It's
Shocking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
well,
I by no means enjoy the film very much, but I mean it's the one that makes the most sense, and that's
yeah,
impressive.
it's. I did not expect this to be the outcome when we
No.
started this arc in our journey.
I genuinely thought Wonder Woman was going to be on top because it is so highly praised, and
Me
it's
too.
like surprising where it falls.
Well, you come to what we watch for 3 things: the swearing, the controversial takes, and the food analogies.
Yeah. Didn't actually have any food analogies this time,
Didn't
or
we?
did we? No, I don't think so.
Can't remember. Oh, the chopping up of the onions and the lettuce.
Oh, yep, there we go. Yeah,
That's true.
You got me.
Yeah. Right, so those are the first 2 chapters of Justice League. We'll be doing chapter 3 next week, and maybe chapter 4, depending on how fast we get through it. But based on the
Yep.
amount of slow motion the Flash has, I'm guessing we'll go right past. But yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts about chapters 1 and 2 before we conclude?
Stop with the slow motion. Think we need to have an intervention with Mr. Snyder. Dude, what is your obsession with slow motion? I think maybe we need to get you some help.
Imagine if Army of the Dead has none.
If it has
Oh
none,
no,
that's fine.
I'm
But
almost certain that I am certain that it will.
Oh no,
I
so
have
am I,
come
but
to
imagine if it
expect
doesn't.
it. I have come to expect slow motion from him now, but this is just overkill. Like, I don't mind it, but why are you using it so damn much?
Uh,
I
Kind of
think,
loses impact, you know.
yeah, definitely. I think for me, the first two chapters really let me know what I was in for with this film.
yes.
Mess.
Like, if you're a big fan of Zack Snyder films, this is right up your alley.
This
I'll
is
give you that
very
much.
Snydery, yeah.
Because, like, you've heard all the criticisms I brought up against this film, big and small. Like, fucking hell. I was talking about, oh, it's not blocks, it's streets in England, fuckface. Like,
Yeah.
I was bringing stuff like that up in this. That's how fucking minute I get with the details. But even I'm like, oh, but I love Zack Snyder, and this is totally a film I would watch over and over again.
That's
This,
fair.
yeah,
I can't say I'd watch it again. I think the slow motion just annoys me too much.
that is, I completely get that.
I am now worried though, if I watch Sucker Punch again, am I going to be annoyed by it in that?
That
Because I know it's used a lot in that too.
I'd comparatively, I'm pretty sure Sucker Punch has more slow mo per minute.
Probably, but I don't know, it probably works better.
I know at this point in when I was watching Justice League, I really felt the length of the film, and it was only an hour into it.
Fair. Like, it's really weird because, like, for me, in terms of experiencing the film, each chapter just flew by. But
Yeah,
where I
I feel
really, really felt the pacing was the epilogue. I will give you that.
Definitely.
Like, a lot of people say, oh, the Lord of the Rings, oh, the ending after ending. And I'm like, motherfucker, they needed all of those endings. Whereas here,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you didn't. You really didn't.
Dylan,
Yes.
I have an interesting thought on something that happens in the epilogue that obviously we can't talk about yet.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you can
But
just message me
it's-
if you want.
I will do.
Well, I mean, we're wrapping up now anyway. So
Yeah.
I'll just go.
But yeah, it's really interesting when you think about how the film ends.
Oh, I think I kind of know what you mean because you're thinking, really? Now? After everything that's happened? Now? Okay. Sure, bro. But I think that's what you mean.
Yeah. It is definitely to do with that particular thing that happens at the end.
Oh my god. You'll know it too, Amy. Believe you me.
Yeah.
Like, when you're
can't wait.
watching it, you'll be thinking, that's what they meant.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to your experience now.
I'm just gonna be like, why? Or whatever.
Right. So, any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
It's a long one.
Yeah.
Brace
thoughts.
yourselves. Take one chapter per week. You'll be fine. That's my advice.
Watch it like a TV show.
Literally, yeah. Space it out.
I'm trying to watch all of it in one go because, like, I just want to get it over with.
It's a feat of endurance if you can go in the one sitting, but yeah, take your time. There's no need to rush.
I've already taken 2 sittings, so I think I can probably do it in one more sitting. We shall see.
Yeah.
1 or 2, maybe.
I mean, you've already completed the equivalent of a normal film. You've only got one more film to go.
Yeah.
Oh. Right, so that is chapters 1 and 2 of Justice League. Thank you everyone for watching up until this point. Hope you had a good time. So, without further ado, ta-ta everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye for now.